hard.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am, an essential worker.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
Imagine a disease that affects more than 10 million Americans. More than AIDS, Parkinson's, ALS, MS, and muscular dystrophy combined. Yet few know its name. Some years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And after surgery, she developed lymphedema, LE, a cruel and chronic disease affecting 10 million Americans that occurs when the lymphatic system is compromised, leaving one with a lifetime of severe swelling and pain. What we found out later is its severity might have been lessened or possibly even prevented if only we were better informed. That's why I'm urging anyone facing cancer treatment to get educated. Talk to your doctor. Make it part of your cancer conversation. And if you have LE, share your story. With patients and doctors working together, we can learn and live. Learn more at lymphaticnetwork.org.
Somewhere around 400 feet off the ground, RPG came through the belly of the aircraft. When I first got out, I felt like my whole life had been smushed down to just medical appointments. I was going to occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy. We don't talk about the female combat wounded. These are our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. I'm not sure I would still be here if I didn't find the Friends and Wounded Warrior Project that I did. Because there was a long period after the injury where I really didn't understand why I was still here. It felt like I had lost everything. Wounded Warrior Project came into my life and taught me how to stand back up and get back in the fight. The truth is, I think we all have this strength inside of us, but until you're tested, you just don't know what's there.
See how Wounded Warrior Project empowers women veterans like Beth by visiting woundedwarriorproject.org/empowerwomenvets.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. It's time to get up and get your day started. Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker! It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. Getting you set for the sports weekend. It's time for the Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings, the Friday, June 7th, 2024 edition to be exact. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Summer is upon us. I guess technically it's not, right? When does summer start technically? Sometime later in June, I think. But come on. It's hot, it's humid. Yesterday was in the low 90s. Summer's here. So take advantage of all the great deals at Family Leisure, including above-ground pools starting at $19.99, all ladders, filter systems, robotic cleaners, 20% off, patio furniture, play gyms, patio umbrellas, hot tubs, on and on and on. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is also brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Currently, it is a comfortable 67 degrees outside, but it's going to get a lot warmer. Not as warm as yesterday, looking at about 89 degrees for a high, but that's warm enough for me. We're talking about sunshine once again with a low chance. I mean, a low chance for precipitation. So it should be a very nice Friday. And then tonight, 65 degrees, a few passing clouds, very comfortable Friday evening. Your Saturday and Sunday looks to be pretty good right now with sunshine, a little bit of clouds on Saturday, high of 90 degrees, and then Sunday a little bit warmer at 92. That's toasty, but again, more sun than clouds. So take advantage of what should be a terrific weekend weather-wise. Coming up on the program today, we'll talk plenty of NBA. The NBA Finals got underway last night, and if you like competitive games, there really wasn't much competition. The Boston Celtics did not look rusty at all. They came out. They punched the Mavericks around. The Mavericks made a good run. They took a 29-point deficit and cut it at one point to 8 in the third quarter. And then the Celtics just stepped on the accelerator and ran away for a 107-89 win in Game 1. We'll discuss that. The latest with Dan Hurley to the Lakers. It hasn't happened yet, but according to reports, Dan Hurley will be meeting today in Los Angeles with Jeannie Buss and General Manager Rob Pelinka, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. NCAA baseball tournament gets underway with the Super Regionals today. There are 8, of course, the 16 teams remain alive. 4 will get underway today. 4 will start tomorrow. We got some University of Memphis basketball news that we'll dive into as well. We got 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. John Varlas will join us in the studio as he does each and every Friday at 7:25. And we will break down the Belmont. More specifically, Ed DeRosa will break down the Belmont for us. It's the final leg of horse racing's Triple Crown. The Belmont will not be in New York this year. Well, it won't be in the metropolitan New York City area. It will be in New York, but upstate New York at Saratoga. Ed DeRosa will break it down for us. That'll be coming up at 9:05. We'll take your calls and your texts, as we always do, on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening on this Friday morning?
Oh man, what a beautiful Friday gonna be. This is ideal. Ideal weather, it looks like.
Well, it's ideal if it stayed at 67 degrees, but it will get up to about 89. So, yeah, a little less than ideal, but not bad. Not bad whatsoever. Yesterday was toasty, but we had a few days where the humidity was down and the temp was up, and it felt great. It's all about the humidity, my friend. All about the humidity. Well, I was so excited about last night. I counted down the days, as a lot of people did, to the start of the NBA Final. The upstart Dallas Mavericks coming off a tremendous performance in their win against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Celtics, who had taken all competitors and thrown them aside, but had to sit and wait to find out who they were going to play. So they've been waiting around for a while. Kristaps Porzingis has been waiting around a while, nearly a month and a half, because of an injury. And last night, not only did the Boston Celtics not miss a beat, no rust, so did Kristaps Porzingis. He looked fabulous, and he was a big part of the early onslaught. You had Derek White, who I think is going to be one of those unsung heroes for the Celtics, hit a couple of big triples early in the game. Jaylen Brown's doing his thing. Porzingis comes off the bench and was absolutely tremendous. He had 18 points in the first half in just 13 minutes. In the meantime, slow start for Dallas. Luka got it going. Kyrie never got it going. The bigs, who were dominant against Minnesota's bigs, were not dominant in this one. And if that's the way it's going to be a quick series. But I think Dallas will recover and play a lot better on Sunday. But for this one particular night, it was all Boston. 16 of 42 from 3. They hit the 3 balls. They hit them early. Again, Dallas made the run, as every team makes a run. But they were able to hold that off, come back and go on a run themselves and put it away.
Yeah, Boston. Boston is a great defensive team. They are equipped to be a great defensive team, and then throwing Porzingis in there makes them even better defensively, because you add his length and shot blocking to their ability to switch on everything because of the great the guards they've got in White and Holiday, and you throw in the athleticism of Tatum and Brown. and they can make life difficult on teams. And I mean, for Luka to have 1 assist in a game is just crazy. I mean, and for their team to have a total of 9 assists is unbelievable. And Boston, even when Luka got it going there and they made their run, Boston for the most part was able to just guard one-on-one, didn't have to run extra guys at the basketball, and it's if they're able to do that, it's going to be difficult for Dallas because those role players feast off the ability for Luka and Kyrie to draw double teams and then kick to them for wide open shots, and they're just not getting those if with Boston's ability to guard one-on-one.
Bingo. It wasn't like Luka was getting the ball to these guys and they were missing bunnies. The Celtics were denying the Mavericks the ball. They were doing an unbelievable job playing man-to-man defense. How many times did Kristaps Porzingis go out there and either deflect a shot or alter shot or block a shot, whether it was Doncic or somebody else shooting? That's a 7'1" guy going out there on the perimeter and doing that. Then you throw in, you have Drew Holiday, who's just one of the great lockdown defenders on the perimeter in the NBA. And Derek White's not too shabby. Jaylen Brown does so many things well. So many. He was playing great defense. He gets you 22 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 2 assists. And I still think there's a debate whether or not Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum's the best player on that team. I don't think it's a slam dunk, but Jason Tatum also did a lot of great things as well. He got 11 rebounds. He got 5 assists. He had a block. He had 16 points. He didn't have to score. He was 6 of 16, 3 of 7 from 3. Now, I'm not going to argue back with you. If you tell me Tatum's, no, he's the best. But Jaylen Brown, you could argue that. He has been so consistently good in the postseason. Al Horford starts the game, still has 10.7 rebounds despite Porzingis coming in and taking some of his minutes away. But Horford still went 30 minutes. And now you got Porzingis coming off the bench. Whether or not that continues, it probably doesn't matter. I think they should continue to bring him off the bench. Because now you look at the bench, whether it's Porzingis or Horford, you have another scorer. And not that you really need the bench so much in the postseason. The rotations are shortened. The minutes expanded for the starters. But Boston's bench, led by Porzingis, had 32 points. The Dallas Mavericks bench had 7 points. They were outscored. I'm sorry, Hardy scored 13. Did not see that. They had 20 points, 16, 18, 20. So they were outscored by 12. So they're outscored by 12 on the bench. From three-point land, they were outscored by 9 threes. That's 9, 18, 27. 27 points. Just in every category you looked, they were better than Dallas. Boston shot 47.6% from the field. Dallas shot 41.7%. I mentioned the 3, 16 of 42. Dallas hit only 7 of 27. The big games that you need from Gafford and Jones and Washington and Lively, they just didn't get it. Lively, who has been spectacular, but is 20 years old and he's a rook, he was taken out of his game. He got into foul trouble early. He was a minus 15. He's playing with a bunch of fouls. He ends up with 5 fouls, 2 points in 18 minutes. P.J. Washington, 0 for 3 from 3. We know how important that corner 3 is. When Doncic or Irving gets P.J. the ball in the corner, usually makes the 3. He was 0 for 3. Ended up with 14 points, but really a non-factor. Gafford only played 14 minutes. He went back to being a liability like he was 2 series ago, but not the Gafford we saw in the Minnesota series. They need him to show up. Jones was 2 of 9 from the field and a minus 12. So all around, it was a great performance by the Celtics. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, as everybody anticipated, was going to be booed every time he touched the ball, and he was booed profusely during the introduction of the teams. And it's one game. That's the way Dallas has to look at it. It's just one game. They played poorly. Boston played great.
Well, Boston had 7 guys make multiple threes, which I believe that's the first time in NBA Finals history that a team has had 7 guys make multiple threes. Dallas had 1.
Wow.
Luka.
Wow. 7 guys with multiple threes.
And that's with Peyton Pritchard going 0 for 5. So they could have had 8 if he could have made a shot. But he couldn't make shots at all. So he goes 0 for 5 from 3, and still they had 7 guys make multiple three-pointers in the game.
Well, Hauser picked him up, right? Hauser only played 16 minutes and had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. That's production. 2 out of 2 from 3. Our boy Xavier Tillman did not play, but Xavier Tillman staring down a ring. 3 games, 3 wins away from getting that ring, that chip, if Boston can continue on. But Boston has had a knack for losing the second game. It hasn't happened in every series. But when they lose, it's usually that second game at home. This is pivotal now. The pressure is all on Dallas. I know the people that say, the series doesn't start until the home team loses a game. And maybe that's true, but I think it's really important for Dallas. If Dallas can win this game, take away home court, go back to Dallas feeling really good about themselves, it could be a really good series. And I had picked Dallas. I didn't feel too good after last night. But if Boston plays with that attitude, it could be a sweep. I don't know. I did not expect Dallas to play that poorly, but I think it was more on what Boston did. As you said, when you can play man-to-man and deny them the easy pass to the open man, there was nobody open. Doncic is forcing some shots, and luckily that Luka started to get it going a little bit. He was 12 of 26. He was 4 of 12 from 3. He ends up with 30 points, 10 rebounds. But like you said, only 1 assist. It was not easy to find open guys. And when they got the ball, they were quickly covered, defended. I mean, those long wingspans that Porzingis has, and Tatum not too shabby with those long arms. I mean, those guys can get out there and defend. And then Jaylen Brown just, man, oh man, he's impressive. He really is. So hats off to the Leprechauns.
You talked about it before. It's just, this is actually in a lot of ways a kind of a perfect matchup for Boston because you've got 2 of the best defensive guards. Mm-hmm. And so you're going against a team who relies on its 2 guards to carry the load. And you've got 2 guys who, and you're not going to shut down Luka and Kyrie, but 2 guys who can guard them and guard them one-on-one. They don't have to have help. And Boston did an amazing job. Basically, when Porzingis was in the game, they didn't switch with him. He was the only guy they wouldn't switch with. They didn't want to get him into matchups with those guys. Mm-hmm. But they were doing, I think it was John Hollinger, or somebody was posted a couple of videos, so what Boston does is when they see the screen coming onto Porzingis' side, Porzingis switches with the guy in the corner. So he never ends up being the guy in the screen and roll. And they do it so seamlessly, it's unbelievable. To be able to recognize it that quickly, make that switch so that then all of a sudden it's Derek White who's making the switch. And it's, defensively, they were on it last night. Again, when you've got the 4 guys that you've got, wiping away the center. Those 4 guys, that's some freak athlete defenders type guys who it doesn't matter who they guard. They're going to be good.
Were you surprised just how effective Porzingis was from the get-go?
A little bit, but not necessarily. I wasn't worried about the layoff.
I thought there'd be a little rust. There was no rust. He looked so good. So good from the get-go. And you mentioned those guys, when they're playing lockdown defense, it's tough to beat them. But then you throw in when Derek White and Drew Holiday, when they can add a little offensively, and we've seen them do it, especially White, they were combined 5 of 13 from 3. So they throw in 5 triples between the 2 of them. Plus they combined for 10 rebounds. Plus they combined for 10 assists. Plus they combined for 2 steals and 2 total turnovers. It's unbeatable. They are unbeatable when those guys are also offensive factors to go along with what you get from Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, Horford at times. But Jason Tatum, again, filled the stat sheet, although he did turn it over 6 times, half of the Boston Celtics' total team turnovers. But Jason Tatum didn't play a great offensive game. So you still got that guy. Hey, my pick, I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good right now. But I'm not counting out Dallas. I think Sunday is absolutely pivotal. I'm sorry. Even though it's, again, a game in Boston, I think Dallas has to get it. They have to get this game. They have to show that they can make adjustments to what Boston is throwing at them. This is now on Jason Kidd and those guys to execute and to come up with a game plan to try to offset all those obstacles that Boston presents, specifically defensively. All right, so it wasn't the nail-biter, down-to-the-wire finish that we had hoped for, but still, it's at least underway, the NBA Final, with Boston winning by 18 points. The Dan Hurley news, again, it was good that it didn't overshadow the game last night, but throughout the day, that's all it was talk about Dan Hurley. Did you see the comments that Kendrick Perkins made about LeBron? He called out LeBron for upstaging the NBA Finals, like putting it all on LeBron James for this Dan Hurley thing. So I was just crazy. But Hurley will meet reportedly today with Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, and Rob Pelinka, the general manager. And with each passing moment, it seems more and more likely that he will be gone. He'll take this job in Los Angeles.
I don't know. I still will be a little surprised if he does it. But
Does or doesn't?
Does.
You'll be surprised if he does take it.
Yeah. But again, there's a price for everybody. And I'm sure there will be a lot of money thrown around. And he may say, you know what? That is worth my while. So if you want to offer me, $120 million, eventually it becomes hard to say no to something like that.
Well, the rumor is that we're talking about $12 million a year. He's making $5 million basically at UConn. If you're more than doubling your salary, you got to take it. Yes, there's maybe an avenue down the road with another team, another organization, if he wants to go and coach NBA, and I think he's already made that clear in the past that, that's a goal for him. It's a goal for a lot of coaches, most coaches. And Penny talks about it, coaching in the NBA. But this is a head coaching gig with the Los Angeles Lakers. Sure, there's pressure, and he would have to. You're not going to change your stripes, but you'll have to alter how he deals with players, certainly for sure. But man, they dangle that kind of money, and who knows if that's true, but they talk about this being, Woj talks about it being this incredible offer that they're throwing at him. I forget the exact word he used, but it's going to be a lot of money that Connecticut can't get close to matching. Can't come close.
Well, as I expected, I said yesterday, I would expect it to be in the Eric Spoelstra contract range.
Which people think is a joke because here's these proven NBA coaches who have won NBA titles, and you're going to be up there in that rent district? But
you're trying to lure him away from an already really good job.
And if you're trying to get who you perceive as the guy to take you to that next level, you're going to have to pay the price. And
you don't have to pay J.J. Redick that much because you're not luring him away from anything.
Right.
Dan Hurley's got a job that he's very comfortable in and could stay for a really long time. So to lure him away from that, you got to pay him a lot of money.
Well, Redick's probably comfortable in what he's doing as an analyst at ESPN. I'm not sure what kind of coin he's making. But I would think that.
But he wants to coach. And if you give him that opportunity, you don't have to pay him as much as you have to pay a guy who has a really good coaching job.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly you're trying to, like you said, lure that guy away from a job that's been real comfortable for him and real successful. Now, he's had to deal with the NIL and the transfer portal and all that, but he has done so to perfection. Is that taxing? Is that something that really he hates doing, but does it well. I don't know. I don't know the guy. But I think we'll get a little bit more clarity, if not today, sometime this weekend. And then it'll be interesting to see if the Lakers go in the direction of Redick. We still don't even know what is true, because Woj said that it's always been Hurley that they wanted, that everything else was basically a smokescreen. But yet you had Shams and others saying they are close to hiring J.J. Redick. So I don't know where they would go. The other question is where Connecticut would go if they do lose Dan Hurley. All these jobs, when they become open and they have to be filled, the big jobs, NBA jobs, big-time college jobs, there's some ramifications because it's a domino. You lose that coach, you got to grab somebody else's coach, and then that team has to grab somebody else. You know, some of the smaller schools, they may hire from within, elevate an assistant coach, do something like that, and it doesn't have the domino effect as severe as it does here when you're talking about something as big as the two-time defending champions from UConn. So something that I think will certainly have more information later today once he has his meetings with the Lakers, and if not today, sometime this week. And probably by Monday when we come on the air, we'll know whether or not Dan Hurley is leaving UConn. Well, folks, the Summer Sizzler Special is going on at Dinstall's. Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates. Over 122 years, they've been making those delectables here in the city of Memphis. The Chocolate Pecan Fudge. It's an award-winning, rich, creamy fudge made with pure chocolate, fresh cream, crisp pecans. Also, chocolate-covered raspberries are here. That's through June. So you only have 3 more weeks as far as the raspberries are concerned. You can still get the chocolate-covered strawberries. Chocolate-covered grapefruit. Wow, I didn't know they did that. And chocolate-covered pineapples, which are out of this world. All the great chocolates, all the great candies, the cashew crunch, the turtlettes, which I absolutely love. You can have all these candies shipped to your friends and family around the country. Just go to Dinstall's and get that taken care of. They have 5 locations. They're out in Collierville. They're in Germantown. They're downtown Memphis. They're over here in East Memphis, not far from us, but not far from where I live. That's my go-to in Laurelwood. And then Pleasant View, where they actually make the candies, and you can ask for a tour of the chocolate factory. It's Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates for over 122 years. When we come back, John Varlas joins us. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Chairman and CEO of Stifel. Financial advisors, let's face it, if you're not growing your practice, you're losing market share. Stifel is a growing, entrepreneurial, advisor-centric firm built for successful advisors like you. There's a reason why 148 financial advisors joined Stifel last year. Come join us and find out why Stifel is the firm where success meets success. Visit www.choosestifel.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home in Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been pretty quiet out here up to this point as far as serious accidents. TDOT and the help trucks are out here with a couple of disabled vehicles. Traffic a lot lighter than it normally would be. This week, traffic still holding up right now on 55 northbound up through South Haven. As we stare at it live over here on I-40 coming eastbound across the Hernando de Soto Bridge coming over from West Memphis. That looks pretty good at the moment. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Morning on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:28 the time, hour number 1 here on Sports 56 Mornings. Happy Friday to you. Looks like it'll be a pleasant day, although as expected, the temperatures will be quite hot, although not as hot as yesterday. May not reach the 90s, which will be a little bit more comfortable, but looking at a high in the upper 80s. It is Friday. It's time to talk with John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and much more at dailymemphian.com. John is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis, where the pros and preps go to get their shot on Shoot 360 Memphis. Now here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is the award-winning Daily Memphian prep reporter and so much more. He is John Varlas. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. He joins us each and every Friday, and he's brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis. Good morning, John.
Some of those Dallas Mavericks could have used the services provided by Shoot 360 Memphis last night, right? What a disaster. But no, I mean, if parents, this is the time. If you've got a young hooper, an elementary school age kid, a middle school, high schooler, this is the time to get their game right and get them a little extra training. And there's no better place in town or anywhere for that matter to do it than Shoot 360 Memphis. They've got the best facilities in Memphis. They've got the best people to overseeing the operations. They've got scientific high-tech data that's originated by NASA and other really smart people that track your shooting progress on a very sophisticated, very high level, real-time readouts, trajectory, depth, arc, release point, all the stuff that goes into making a really, really good shooter. They have it at Shoot 360 Memphis. They'll tell you what you're doing wrong, and so give them a call. They will get you right. 901-316-5500. They are in Collierville at 85 Market Street. Soon to be in Cordova. Brand new location about to start, about to open up around the 1st of July. They're getting the flooring put down for that. And so soon they'll have 2 locations. You can be at Collierville, Cordova, whichever is most convenient for you. Shoot 360 Memphis, 901-316-5500. Tell them JV sent you. They will get you right, and you will look a lot better than certain Dallas Mavericks did last night. What a disaster.
Yeah, you picked
Mavericks
the Mavs.
in 5.
I picked the
What a
Mavs.
disaster.
Hopefully they'll recover. I think even though I said, I don't know if you heard during the first segment, the old theory is until a home team loses, the series is, it's fine. They lost 1 game. But to me, I think Dallas really has to win Sunday. If they lose that game, they kind of crawl back home, and I'm worried. But can they change things up and figure out a way? Because Boston, they're just not going to double up Doncic and Kyrie. They're playing man-to-man, and they are locking them down.
Well, yeah, they are. And I think, Greg, and I to backtrack a second, I listen to the first segment every day, so I'm a loyal listener. But no, I mean the thing that surprised me last night was how good Kristaps Porzingis looks. I mean that guy was really sharp, and he was the difference to me. I mean the game was essentially won in the first half, and the first half was essentially won because of what Porzingis came off the bench and did. The guy was incredible, and when he's hitting his shots and playing defense at that size, that's. When he came into the league, they called him the unicorn, and that's a true unicorn matchup. I mean, there's nothing that Dallas has to match for that, and you guys said it well. The supporting cast did not play well for Dallas. Lively and Jones and Washington and Gafford and those guys, they did not play nearly as well as they had been throughout this run. They didn't get anything from Kyrie Irving. I'm not going to get into the speculation on, the booze and all that. I mean, I don't think that affected him. I think he just had a bad game.
I agree.
He's been awesome this whole playoff, so hopefully he can get it going again for Dallas. But yeah, if Luka Doncic is going to be your only guy putting the ball in the hoop, I mean, you're not going to win many games. I mean, as great as he is, you got to get some help from somewhere, and so Dallas has to figure it out. Hopefully they can. I think Coach Jason Kidd will make the adjustments, but Boston looked really, really good last night. What can you say? I mean, my prediction is certainly on the ropes. And I told you guys it would be wrong. So I mean, so in being wrong, I'm still being right because I admitted my wrongness. And
go opposite of John.
That's an interesting theory. Yeah. We forget, I think, like what a freak of nature Kristaps Porzingis is.
Right.
Like he is the dude at his size and the skill level that he has. I mean, he's pretty incredible. It's like when he was in Dallas, first came in the league, and then when he went to Washington, you just kind of disappears because they're so bad. Like
he's basically in exile.
Yeah, you kind of forget. Like the dude is a unicorn. Like it is like the thing is like he looks like he's like 7'8". Like I always think he's even taller than what he is.
I want to talk about the foreign players.
Yeah.
Okay, and where we are now in this world of basketball with these foreign players in this country in the NBA dominate. But before we do that, it's, of course, bone-picking season. It always is with you.
Well,
we have to have you pick a bone each and every Friday. So what do you got today?
Well, I'm not a bone per se, but I'm a little frustrated at myself for not recognizing the significance of today being National Donut Day.
What?
Yeah. I've got a bone to pick with you about that.
No, you can.
You got a donut to pick.
You come in not knowing it's. I was expecting when you showed up today you were going to bring donuts, and then you didn't, and you didn't even know. I had to inform you that it was National Donut Day.
I deserve that because I'm completely here, totally unawares that it's National Donut Day, such a significant day in our calendar. I mean, one day after D-Day, where we remember the sacrifice of our greatest generation 80 years ago, and so pivotal in winning World War II for the Allies, and then right on the heels of that, it's the magnificence of National Donut Day, and I totally forgot it.
The importance are equal, aren't they?
Yeah, you dropped the ball. You just completely dropped the ball.
I was so. Kristaps Porzingis flummoxed me so much last night. I couldn't think. But no, it's a happy National Donut Day to all who celebrate.
Oh, we need a donut here.
Yeah, I will not be celebrating. I mean, certainly, guys, you guys, the loyal listeners that can run and make a delivery here to the station, right? I mean,
look at you now trying to ask them to help to bail you out.
I've got places to go after I leave.
So here's my question.
I've got to go work off 50 years of donuts. So I'm gonna be got places to go.
Here's my question. At Gibson's Donuts, which I love, Don, if you're listening, have somebody deliver some. Now, does an apple fritter count as a donut? Because that's what I eat.
An apple fritter is a fritter. A donut.
It's not fritter day.
A donut.
But right. I get it at Gibson's.
Fritter day is in September, I think. But no.
It doesn't count? Okay.
A fritter's a fritter. A donut is a round thing with a circle in it. It can be glazed.
There's not variations of donuts?
There's variations of donuts, but a fritter is not a donut. It's like saying as a pie a cake. There's variations of pie, apple pie, cherry,
Yeah, I know.
But it's not a cake.
I know.
No, they're both fried and they're similar, but no, yeah.
National Fritters Day is in December 2nd.
Is that really a day?
So you're close. You're very close. I would have been impressed if it would have been in September.
Wait, are you making that up?
December 2nd is actually National Fritter Day.
Greg,
that true?
Greg, there's a
National
day
Fritter
there's a day for everything, Greg. There's literally a day for everything. everything.
Well, when you were eating donuts, what was your favorite donut?
Gibson's makes a great donut. I mean, they're the go-to for a lot of
But
people.
what kind?
They have one in their store, and I was trying to describe it to Eli before we came on the air. It's like a cake thing with a chocolate icing, but it's kind of got an orangey flavor to it. I don't know what the name of it is. I just kind of point it out and say, "Give me two of those.
Give me that."
and they hook me up. And
we want that one.
Sounded like Cookie Monsters.
Exactly.
Donut monster.
So that's kind of how it goes. But I mean, I'm of the school of thought that you can't really have a bad donut. Kind of like, and I'm sure you'll disagree with me on this, being the connoisseur that you are, but I don't think you could have a bad pizza. There's certain things that are.
Well, I disagree with that. But the donuts, I agree with.
You could have pineapple on the pizza. That makes it a bad pizza.
There's certain things that are really hard to mess up. Donuts, hamburgers, ice cream, pizza. It's kind of hard to mess those up. And so
But some people still figure it out.
Yeah, to me, there's no bad donut as my former figure will attest.
Eli, what's your go-to with a donut?
I'm like John. There's not a whole lot of battles, but I'm fine with just a good old fashioned glazed donut.
See, I'll eat the glazed donut.
Yeah.
I don't like the glazed. I like the one that's chocolate devil's food with glaze.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah, but not the hard cake, the softer one.
Oh, glazed with.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like the white powdered one.
Yeah, I mean just a chocolate cake donut.
Yes.
A blueberry cake donut's awesome. They have those filled donuts that are filled with lemon or cherry or whatever. I mean, those are
Can't
good.
do the lemon filled one.
I'm not a big donut guy with the cream in the middle and all that. I don't like those. I don't like them for whatever reason. I know a lot of people. My wife likes the Bavarian cream and all that. I don't like the ones when they shoot it up with the cream.
Shoot it up.
Cherry is the only acceptable filling.
Inject it. No, I mean, there's no bad donut. And so happy National Donut Day to all who celebrate. Unfortunately, I won't be participating this year, but maybe for Fritter Day.
Yeah, you may want to put that in your phone, in your calendar. December 2nd, National Fritter Day.
You would not be a good spokesperson for Gibson's.
I would be. Trust me.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't eat them, man. Just take my word for it.
No, but I have eaten. That's the thing. No,
kept them in business for years.
Oh my God, my goodness, true story. I mean, I used to work at Easy Way there, right down the street.
Oh, that's right.
So Saturday morning, when I was a kid in high school, I'd work all day Saturday basically to make some money. I'd be there from 8 to closing 6 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd get there a little early, park the car, and walk to Gibson's and get me a bunch of donuts and take them to work and snack on them throughout the day. And I did that every Saturday for 2-3 years. I mean, I've spent a lot of money at Gibson's.
Snack on donuts.
At least you walked down there and back. Kind of worked off the donuts ahead of time.
What is acceptable in one visit to Gibson's? I'm not talking about buying donuts for 2 days or for family.
Yeah.
You go in there for yourself. I'm talking about anybody in general, not just you specifically, John. What is acceptable for the amount of donuts to eat?
I mean, if I was to go and have a treat, I would go get 2.
So you would go 2.
I go, give me one of these and one of these, and maybe a drink, and then I'd be out.
So I go 3.
Yeah.
I think 2 is probably a fair number.
Now, if I get a fritter, I go fritter and probably just the fritter.
Probably just the fritter.
Sometimes I've gone fritter and a donut, and I've been so stuffed. But if it's just regular donuts, I think I'd go 3.
Yeah. I'm afraid I'm going to open a can of worms here, knowing where your mind is. But in St. Louis, at Schnucks, they have these wonderful things called Long Johns, and they're like fritters, but they're kind of like tubular shaped donuts, and they've got like chocolate on them. I can't remember if they're filled or not. And then
sometimes they are. Sometimes.
And then they've also got these little twisty things like
the twisty
tiger tail. They call them tiger tails.
I didn't know that, but
so good.
I'm twisty cinnamon ones that they have at
and I'm not going to be able to work out now, so thank you. My mind is gone. I'm so hungry now. So
I might be going over.
You're going straight to Gibson's when you leave here.
I might be going straight to Gibson's. I'll tell you that much. All right, I wanted to before we take our break, the foreign players. Just recently, you think about Doncic, and you think about Jokic, and Giannis. And Embiid. I mean, even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's from Canada, right? You have now Porzingis, who steps in last night and becomes really the star. I'm not saying there aren't great American players because we see a lot more of them really than the foreign players, but the most dominant players in the NBA now are foreign players. Victor Wembanyama.
Look at the guys at the top of the draft: Alex Sarr, Zachary Risachet, Nikola Topic, Matas Buzelis. Well, no, he's American. He's from Illinois, actually. But
your point's well taken. My
I mean,
question is now: should teams kind of lean on that a little bit more with the foreign player?
Well,
back in the day, Grizzlies would take some foreign players. Those guys would never be on the roster. They would never make it. And then those that did were never really productive. Obviously Marcus Gasol and Pau Gasol, but Cesare Trabansky. I think of all the. Now it seems like grab a dude from somewhere around the world because they all seem to be good.
Well, grab a dude from France. I mean, those guys are producing basketball players like nobody's business. But the thing, and I think the discussion that a lot of high-level basketball people are having right now is the European system versus the American system when it comes to youth development. So the American system, as a lot of people know, and a lot of these parents will know, it's travel ball. It's going to these events, during the summer and spring, and just games after games after games and travel after travel after, and events, throughout. Whereas the European system is totally the opposite. The emphasis is on practice and drills and skill work, and you might only play once or twice a week, and it's just a different, a different mindset when it comes of how do you develop your young players, and so the question is, what is more successful? And I think, you're seeing it that. With Greg, like you're saying, the amount of young talent from foreign countries coming into the NBA, maybe the European way is better, where the focus is on fundamentals and skills and drills at an early age, as opposed to like the constant games. I mean, these guys are so skilled. I mean, that's the thing. Wembanyama is so skilled at what he can do. He can shoot. He can dribble, pass, move. I mean, same thing with Porzingis and Luka, all of them. I mean, these European guys have one thing in common, regardless of where they come from. They're really skilled. They know how to play the game of basketball from an IQ perspective. They know how to pass. They know how to move. They know how to cut. They know how to do the right thing in the right situation. And that, a lot of times that's kind of different from what you see from a lot of the American guys who maybe tend to get by just on athleticism or tend to get by on, maybe one or two moves. I mean, I'm not that there's not great American players coming through, because there is and there always will be. And I like to compare it to soccer. In Europe, in England, the top league was, England's always been the top league in soccer, and forever and ever and ever, it was only English players. Then gradually players from foreign countries started to come through, French players and players from other countries. And now the best players in the league are complete. It's a completely foreign league, and the English players, by and large, they're not the best players. The foreign players are. And I don't think that's ever completely going to happen in the NBA. But, I mean, I think you can see it already starting to happen. And I think, over time, I mean, I think it could be close to like a 35 to 40% league, where it's 35% foreign born and 65 or 60% American. I think that's feasible. And
sure,
it's just it's global expansion of the game. I mean, it's all a part of it. But the main thing is the skill of these kids.
Good point, John.
And that's why, Adam Silver yesterday talked about how they're exploring expansion in the NBA. And one of the things he talked about, you do have to consider the dilution of talent. But I think because of the number of foreign players now, I think the NBA could expand by a couple of teams. And I don't think it's going to affect the level of play that much.
Yeah.
I think I think you've got enough talent because of that. But like the All NBA, and again, the All NBA team, the first team All NBA was 5 different countries represented. But now the second and third team, it's 9 Americans and 1 foreign-born player. So, I mean, the Americans are still dominating the NBA.
Well, like John said, maybe
by numbers.
Oh, no question.
At the top, there are really good foreign players, but overwhelmingly, it's American.
Yeah, but I think over time, as John said, more and more will come into the league, and 35, 40% at one point, I think, and maybe at the height, I think, is not crazy talk. Obviously, we see what's going on in baseball, right? Still, there's more American-born baseball players, I think. But as far as Latin players, Hispanic players, Japanese players, it's a little different. Every sport you can think of, from golf to tennis to soccer, obviously. I mean, that's first and foremost. The one that is not affected by foreigners is the NFL, is football. It's the only one that's not affected.
Yeah, because that's primarily an exclusive game, but basketball's been exported all over the world. I mean, it's
right.
Super popular in Europe. France, Serbia, these countries don't have a lot in common other than their love of basketball. It's huge in Africa. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these NBA academies in Africa where they're developing young talent in those countries. And I would expect, at some point we'll start seeing an influx of talented young players from China making their way over here. You've got the whole political situation over there that kind of complicates things, but I would expect that to happen too. I mean, so, it's a global game, and the NBA is starting to reflect that.
No, I agree.
This time our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. I'm sure this weekend I'll be firing up my Big Green Egg and cooking something with the beautiful weather it looks like that we're going to have on tap for the weekend. BigGreenEgg.com is the website to get all the details about the best grill there is, the Big Green Egg. You can also go to Ace Hardware stores here around town, Hamilton Fireplace. They're distributors of the Big Green Egg. You can find the egg in all the different sizes, 7 different sizes to choose from. All the egg accessories as well, from their charcoal to the rubs and sauces and all the other little accessories for the grill itself. The Big Green Egg.
More with John Varlas. We'll get his thoughts on what's going on possibly in Los Angeles with Dan Hurley. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Whopper Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli, it's wholesome food and no surprises.
Right now at Genesis Diamonds, we're always giving relief to our customers with free financing for all and designer engagement ring with that luxury pre-owned Rolex and spread your payments over 5 whole years without paying a dime in interest. Date anniversary just $45 and that's with zero down. Now through June and only at Genesis Diamonds. Extended credit system.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get more life out of your roof with our award-winning Owens Corning repair team. We're the repair guys the other repair guys call when they can't find the problem. Leaks become black mold when ignored. That's why when you call me, I start my inspection in the attic. Is it time for a beautiful new roof? 867-0303.
intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Welcome back, everybody. 7:52 is the time. Got a few more minutes with John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Follow John on Twitter at John Varlas. He's brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis. All right, so Dan Hurley reportedly will meet today with Laker officials, including owner Jeannie Buss and general manager Rob Pelinka. It's interesting. Reading a story just a moment ago during the break, they say they think it's 50-50. That's probably their guess because they haven't spoken to Dan. But to leave a situation where right now you can argue he's the best coach in college basketball, he certainly has been over the last 2 years, to go to an NBA somewhat volatile situation, final years of LeBron, it's win now, a lot of pressure to do so, but the money they're going to offer is probably going to be double or more than what he makes. What do you think?
I'm not a doom and gloomer like a lot of these people that say if Dan Hurley were to go, it would be another death blow to college athletics.
Right.
I think that's silly and
That's
overblown.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's
Mike Greenberg.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Come on. Well, Mike Greenberg's not a serious person, but I mean, every situation is different and you have to look at it on those merits. But in the case of Dan Hurley specifically, Greg, I agree with you. I mean, you've got a really, really good thing going at Connecticut. You're well compensated, and maybe this is a poor man talking, but I don't see what $12 million a year will buy you that $5 million won't. I mean, at a certain point, you're rich. You're either rich or you're not rich. I mean, you can, what can you do with $12 million a year that you can't do with $5 million?
I don't know, but I'd love to find out.
Me too. Sign me up.
I have no idea. But
Right.
boy, I'd love to find out.
I mean,
that extra $7 million, I'm sure I could find something to buy with it.
I'm sure you could probably a few more big green eggs and a few more.
You could have brought donuts today. You could have celebrated National Donut Day with that $7 million.
John, I would say, yeah, if you're talking about $3 million compared to $4 million maybe, or $5 to 12.
If he gets say they offer him $100 million. Say you got $100 million. So you've got $100 million no matter what happens. He can get fired in 3 years. He still has $100 million. He can walk back to college, get any job he wants, and yet another 2 generations of his family, or whatever, every generation of his family is set for life.
He can, but all the generations of his family are set for life already. That's the thing. I mean, I just don't know if you do it. I mean, he's such a great college coach. He's really got a good thing going at UConn. LeBron James is the one calling the shots in Los Angeles. Everybody knows that. And if you end up on his bad side 6 months from now, you're out of a job. You got to start over. You got to move your family back to Los Angeles. You got to move your wife and your kids. I just don't know if it's worth the headache. Maybe it is to him. I mean, that's for Dan Hurley to decide, and whatever he does, God bless him and good for him. But it's just if it was me, I would really, really think it through and think and try to think through all the unforeseen circumstances.
I don't think he's the kind of guy. I don't know him personally. But I don't think he's the kind of guy that's afraid to fail, like to go into Los Angeles and think, oh, no, what happens if I get on LeBron's bad side, or if we struggle and I could be without a job? I'll be rich, but I could be without a job, and that's a blemish on my resume. I don't think he looks at it that way. I just think he loves what he's doing, despite it being the NIL world, the portal world. And so I wouldn't be surprised. If he stays. But again, I understand going. I really, really do. All right, one other thing. We were talking during the break about this. And this is something we brought up the other day with the news that Antoine Hill, the much-regarded 5-star quarterback who is considering Memphis, is making his official visit to Memphis this weekend. He has only big names on his resume, but the word is that it's come down to basically Florida, Memphis, maybe another or two. But Antoine Hill, the heir apparent possibly for Seth Hennigan, how huge is this weekend, this trip, having that guy on campus, and then if you're able to get him?
I think, Greg, that would be the most significant recruit that's come to the University of Memphis not just in football, but in any sport in quite a long time. I mean, this guy, on paper, on film, based on the ratings and the rankings and the experts, I mean, he looks like the real deal, and he looks like a program changer. I mean, this is your guy when Seth Hennigan graduates that can come in and contribute and challenge for that starting spot from day one. I mean, he's big. He's like 6'4", 210 pounds. He's got a good arm. He can move. I mean, I look at the video and I kind of see a young Cam Newton kind of player, because of his size and his ability to move and kind of get around and throw the ball as well. I mean, you talk about coming down to maybe Memphis and Florida, and then you look at the situation where, hey, well, is Billy Napier even going to be at Florida next season?
Right.
We pretty much know Ryan Silverfield will be, unless it's just a complete unforeseen disaster. So, I mean, that would encourage me if I'm a Memphis fan. But no, I mean, this Antoine Hill is big, and just the fact that Coach Silverfield is in with the prospect of this caliber, it just speaks volumes to what they're building over there. And and I really hope they can get it done for the sake of the program, because they will need a quarterback next year. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're positive. We believe that Seth will use up his eligibility this year. Compared to D'Angelo Williams and the get of D'Angelo, who I don't know if he was a 5-star.
Yeah,
how big would it? How much bigger is it than when they were able to get a D'Angelo Williams?
I mean, D'Angelo Williams was highly recruited. I don't know exactly where he was on the rankings. I don't know if he was quite as high up as this Antoine Hill is. But D'Angelo Williams was awesome, and he turned out to be awesome for the program. And you never know. I mean, these star rankings are, they're indicative of nothing. I mean,
They're opinions.
They're opinions. You see these guys with 5 stars by their name, and they come in and they can't tie their shoes. And then you see these guys with no stars by their name, and they go on to have great college careers and play in the NFL for 15 years. I mean, you see it all the time. You just never know. And it's all about fit and situation and relationships and all that playing a factor too. But no, if this Antoine Hill is what I think he is, I mean, it would really be a coup if Memphis and Coach Silverfield can land him, and I think it would be super significant for the program.
They should get some Skechers slip-ons if they can't tie their shoes, but they don't have to.
John, listen.
What they should do,
or get Velcro, get the old Velcro shoes.
Have a bunch of donuts at the facility when Antoine Hill arrives.
I was just going to say, go get yourself a donut, smell it, and then throw it away. Just to celebrate National Donut Day.
You might as well ask me to fly to the moon on a rocket ship. How are you going to put a donut under a person's nose?
Because your willpower is unbelievable. It's like better than anybody. Look at the weight you've lost. You can do that. If you can do what you've done, you can't put a donut in your hand, smell it, and throw it away.
No.
I
Come on,
I can't.
Are you out of your mind?
No, I'm not out of my mind.
I am stunned that somebody would be so. That's just rude. Quite frankly, that's rude. That's actually really rude.
Well, it's really naive. It shows a complete.
It's testing. No, it's testing your ability to do that.
No, it shows what it does is show a complete lack of human character.
No,
exactly.
You're
rude. It's rudeness.
You're buying a donut from wherever to celebrate National Donut Day. You're doing your part in celebrating National Donut Day by buying a donut.
It's not, and not just me. I don't think you could put a donut under anybody's nose and say, just smell it and throw it. What are you talking about?
Damn, you guys have no willpower.
It's like putting a stack of dollar bills in front of somebody and saying, look at it, but don't take it. I mean, who's going to do that?
Well, it's like putting $7 million in front of somebody and telling them to turn it down.
Well, that's like saying go in a store and seeing something you really, really love. You don't have the money for it, so what? I'm not going to steal it? I mean, come on. You got to have willpower. Do something for National Donut Day, for goodness sakes.
Well,
all right.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. But you've got me all
resisting the desire to commit a crime is a lot different than eating a donut.
You've got me all out of.
Sorry,
I
didn't think smelling a donut was going to cause World War III.
Yeah, you've got me all out of sorts.
He's John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. Make sure to read all his great stories at the Daily Memphian. Follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. Family owned and operated. They offer financing with different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket. They do residential and commercial roofing. So business owners and property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a roofing problem, you need a new roof or a roof repair, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They are licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a 5-year labor warranty on the purchase of a new roof, and all their work is satisfaction guaranteed. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing, siding, rotten wood repair. If you need shingles installed, Brandon can do that for you. All the work that you can handle yourself, that's great. If you can't, like myself, I can't do anything manually, I call the experts. I call Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Again, for your roofing needs, for all your home repair needs, Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration, 901-438-5084 or online at newroofmemphis.com. Hour 2 on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's June, and that means it's celebration month. Whether it's graduation from college, a wedding happening, or any other special occasion, take yourself and your merry band downtown to Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar. The beauty of Bell Tavern, tucked away in historic Barbaro Alley, is that while it's right smack in the middle of downtown, it's also a quiet oasis with ice-cold beer, an easygoing atmosphere, and signature cocktails you won't find anywhere else. When it's time to celebrate in Memphis, it's time to celebrate at Bell Tavern.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clothes. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's time with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee Tools outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Outdoors, get more done. Order select and stock items before the end of the
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choate's and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choate's and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choate's air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and generators. Choate's, let our family serve your family.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic's finally starting to move around just a bit inbound on 385 Biltmore's Parkway as you come past Riverdale. Some volume finally showing up here in the Midtown area. 240 north over here at Lamar. Still looks good. I-40 coming eastbound across Hernando de Soto Bridge coming over from West Memphis. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry right here in the Memphis area specializes in bridal ring purchases, and they have since 1984. Go by and see them this weekend. Shop local and save at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:06 the time. Hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings. The Friday, June 7th, 2024 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd. We're broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Check them out at 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 71 degrees. We're looking at a high today in the upper 80s with plenty of sunshine tonight. A few passing clouds with a low of 65, and the weekend looks to be delightful. Second hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler, at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Each Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know former Memphis Tigers guard Lester Quinones, who was here in Memphis yesterday, not sure if he'll be around today, but he was yesterday. He spoke to an AAU basketball team and talked to some other folks. He's just a delightful guy to be around. In 37 games this year for the Golden State Warriors after his G League call-up, 4.4 points per game average in 10.7 minutes. He shot 36% from three. As a member of the University of Memphis in 3 seasons with the Tigers, in 87 games, he averaged 10 points per game. Good luck the rest of the way for Lester Quinones with his NBA career. James Gaddis Jewelers, again, your family's jeweler and your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters. Father's Day just around the corner. A beautiful watch. I know that will put a smile on Dad's face. So when you're thinking about Dad or thinking about anybody in your family and you're thinking jewelry, make sure it's James Gaddis Jewelers. 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com.
Got a text from Reggie on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line. He says, what do the guys that go for the NIL bag in college basketball do if the coach leaves, i.e. Terrace Reed Jr., the transfer to UConn? Do they stay for the money or jump back in the portal? Well, that is the decision they will have to make. I guess if Hurley were to leave, all of the guys that are there, anybody coming in, whatever, they have that decision to make. Or do you want to stay and play for the new coach, make whatever money it is, or jump in that portal and go find a new home? It's a little late in the game to be doing that, but certainly there are homes out there, there are coaches out there that would take those guys.
I wonder if you can have your cake and eat it too. In other words, you can jump in the portal, but while having 30 days to decide what to do, you check out other offers, and then if you don't like what's out there, you go back, depending on who the coach is, because that will be somewhat of a factor. But you go back as long as you're in good standings with the collective, with the people that are providing the NIL. If you say to them, listen, I want to just check what else is out there. I mean, it's my prerogative. I'm allowed to do that by rule, NCAA rule, because the coach left. But I want to make sure that that's there for me if I do decide to come back. I don't know how that works. I don't know how negotiations go. Obviously, you can have an agent now that can do that for you. But I would look at all options. I wouldn't just automatically say, yeah, I'm staying, not knowing who the coach is.
Well, you wait to see who the coach is, and then you can make your decision once the coach is hired.
But again, you have 30 days. So you're on a time restraint here as to what to do. I would reach out. I don't know if you got to officially announce that you're in the portal. I guess you do. So other schools can come after you, and it's not you're not getting charged with tampering of some sort, although we do know that happens a lot, that schools go after players that haven't even gone into the portal. But that's what I would do. I would look at all my options before I decide whether or not to go back to Connecticut.
And that's what
I'm sure that's what they're all going to do.
You see who the new coach is, maybe somebody you like, you stay. If not, you go elsewhere. Now again, and that's where because of the timing of this, this is if Hurley leaves. We don't even know Hurley's leaving. If Hurley leaves, whoever the new coach is, I mean, it's a huge challenge because they have to keep guys. Like, if you lose your entire roster now, like, how do you put together a new roster in June? Like, you're just, that would be, it is a difficult task. So they have to, if he leaves, they have to hire somebody quickly, and it better be somebody who can hold on to a lot of the players who are currently there.
Well, true, but you could put a team together. You just can't put a good team together. There are a lot of players that are still in the portal. A lot of players. And if you have all that NIL money, you're dishing out money to players that probably aren't worth the money you're going to give them to fill roster spots. And then UConn, as far as being able to win back-to-back-to-back, is out the window if that happens. If you lose those top-tier players that you were able to bring in or keep, then you're done. But you can fill a team because there are still hundreds and hundreds of guys that are in the portal, according to everything I've read about availability still in the transfer portal. Speaking of the transfer portal, John Rothstein reported yesterday that the Memphis Tigers are one of a number of teams who have shown interest in Providence transfer Gorway Duel. He's a 6'5", 190-pound wing. Not a great shooter. I looked at his numbers last year at Providence. They were downright awful. But well-regarded player, highly regarded coming out of high school, more of a defensive guy, more of a motor guy. I don't know, but Memphis is in on him according to John Rothstein. Memphis also yesterday announcing the signing of 4 transfers. We know they have more than 4 transfers coming in. I think they're just doing this periodically to announce the team for the media and the media to talk about it. But yesterday, the 4 names that they released as now officially signed with Memphis: P.J. Haggerty, who comes from Tulsa; Dane Danger, who comes from Illinois; Colby Rogers, who comes from Wichita State; and Tyrese Hunter, who comes from Texas. We had both Colby Rogers and I think we had P.J. Haggerty. Yeah, I think we had both of them on the show. Delightful young men, but those 4 names were announced by the school, and I would imagine the rest of the guys that they got will be announced in the next coming days.
And my dream of getting Wooga Poplar, that's dead.
Is it over?
Yeah.
What happened? Where'd he go?
He's going to Villanova.
Oh, he's going to Villanova. Did not see that one.
Great get for Villanova. Get on the Wooga train.
Wooga chukka, wooga. So yesterday, the NCAA playing rules panel approved the use of corporate logos on the field. Now, you may be thinking, well, we've seen corporate logos on the field. We're talking about something completely different than stadium rights holders. For example, Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, you see Simmons Bank. But now they can open it up to other companies. I would imagine in the case of the University of Memphis, which now owns and operates Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, that you're willing to look at any company within reason, with the exception of banks. I would imagine Simmons Bank has an exclusive deal with the University of Memphis. But it's great because that's more revenue that you could possibly bring in. That's another revenue stream. Now, as far as the logo patches on the players' uniforms, they have still not decided yet on that. That is something that still has to be passed, accepted, and ruled in the favor of doing so, because that's also another way to bring in more revenue to a program. But on the field logos, you will start to see that this upcoming season.
It's really amazing to me that it took this long for them to get to even to do this. You know, but I'm still also, and I'm sure we'll get to it now because all these schools are looking to find as much money as they possibly can, knowing with the revenues sharing and all that coming up. But the fact that these on-campus stadiums around the country generally don't have a naming rights deal amazes me that schools have never taken advantage of that more.
There are also, I saw a list yesterday, and I want to say 6 or 7 bowl games for 2024 that do not have a sponsor. 6 or 7 bowl games. And these bowl games get great exposure. During the holidays, people are watching. They're on the big networks. They're on Fox or ESPN. And yet 6 or 7 do not have sponsors. They've either lost the sponsor or never had the sponsor.
And we did find out that the AutoZone Liberty Bowl will be Friday, December 27th, 6 o'clock kickoff for the folks over at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Of course, they had their big golf tournament earlier this week and found out yesterday, got their date and time. So Friday, December 27th, 6 o'clock kickoff for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
I love it. I think that's a great, I mean, high school football's done. I don't know what's going on with the playoff games start, the week prior? Is that the first round?
The playoff games are.
And I'm talking about the college football playoff.
I'm not sure. I got to double check on what the dates, which Saturday that is.
Yeah, I thought it was the week before. But the point is, Friday night, 6 o'clock, I think it's great. 2 days after Christmas, 4 days before New Year's Eve. I don't know. I haven't seen Harold since the announcement. We saw him on Monday, or Steve Earhart, but I would have to think they're happy about this. Now, there was a story yesterday in the Daily Memphian. I still haven't had a chance to read it. Maybe you did. Tim Buckley, our good friend, wrote about the AutoZone Liberty Bowl and the future over the next couple of years with the renovations. And I'm surprised that even was a question with Steve Earhart about, like, where could it move? Did you read that story?
I did not get a chance to read it.
But I'm thinking, is that even something debatable? I mean, where else would they go? Yes, there's going to be less seats. I understand that. But it's going to be here. And Steve confirmed that to Tim that, yeah, it's going to be in Memphis. I don't know where else would it go.
Well,
if you played in MUS?
Well, if it was a 1-year deal, like you could go to Ole Miss. I mean, if you just needed if the construction is causing too much of a limit of seats, you could go to one of those college stadiums around.
Right, but we know how many seats are going to be. Jeff's been on the show talking about that. So, yes, there's going to be a limited amount of seats, but it's not going to be 10,000. So I didn't even think it was a question. I guess maybe that's something that was being contemplated.
The Friday, December 20th, so the week before.
Right, that's what I thought.
Will be the first, and then there's 3 games that Saturday. That will be the first round of the playoffs. So you'll have Friday, December 20th, and then the triple header on Saturday, the 21st, will be for that. And then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day will be the quarterfinal round.
Perfect. That is a perfect time to have the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game. Right? I mean, it seems like it's right in the middle of everything, but it's not interfering with anything else. The NFL, where's the NFL on December 27th? Are we finally in the postseason, or are we still at the end of the regular season?
Well, that's a Friday, though.
Well, I know, but they've been wacky with these days anymore, with when they're playing some of these games. So
they're on Friday. They're playing on Black Friday, but they're not playing.
They're just playing on Black Friday. Okay.
They'll have Saturday games that week. And they'll have the first round of the college football playoff, the Saturday triple header, will go head to head with the NFL,
right?
Because the NFL has Saturday games. The college football is protected on Saturdays during the regular season, but they are not protected at that time. The NFL will have Saturday games going up head to head with the first round of the college football playoff.
Right. Bill Hancock has said that. He goes, we know what's going on. We're not going to move. We're not going to change dates. It is what it is. One other thing before we take our next break, and again, you can always hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255 by calling in or texting in. We'll be joined by Ed DeRosa at 9:05. He'll break down the Belmont. He's a terrific horse racing analyst and insider. Your Oklahoma Sooner softball team got it done again last night, beating Texas, and that means a 4-peat. So the Oklahoma coach, what's her name?
Gasso.
She has to beat.
What's her first name? What is her first name?
Maximilian. No, Gasso's got to beat Pat Riley to the punch. Trademark 4-peat.
It is an amazing program. Like that senior class won 4 titles. They went 41-4 in the NCAA tournament in their 4 years. And they come in here as the number 2 seed against the number 1 seed, and they just dominate them in the 2 games. It's just absolutely insane how good that program is. And then both of those programs, of course, coming to the SEC next year. And the girl from Texas that had the big base running blunder last night, I have no idea what the girl was doing. She gets a base hit to bring it to 5-4 in the 6th inning, and it was like an infield hit. The second baseman's holding the ball 10 feet from first base, and the girl rounds first. And, like, it almost looks like she's sneaking up behind the second baseman for something. And the second baseman just turns and flips it to the first baseman who tags her out. I don't know. I have no idea what the girl was thinking. And then inning was over, and then Oklahoma scores 3 more runs and puts the game away. But it was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. She just rounds first, literally looks like she's sneaking up on the second baseman who has the damn ball. And then they yelled at the second baseman, hey, like, she's like, get her out. And she turns around, flips it to the first baseman, tags the girl out. Inning over. Good night. It's
brain fart.
I don't it was like the when they showed the dugout's reaction for Texas, they were all like, you could tell, like, what the hell was she doing? Like, what was that? But yeah, Oklahoma, man, I can't imagine being a senior like that. Every year of your college career, champion. You never lost your last game of the season.
Wow. That's what you call a dynasty.
They only lost probably 15, 20 games total. Because the one year they only had, one loss? They had the 70 whatever one-game winning streak. Like, they've set, every record. It's just absolutely insane how good they are.
You going to get yourself an Oklahoma softball jersey?
If I was going to do that, I would have got that with Jocelyn Alo, my favorite player.
Did you see, by the way, the video of the reporter who was interviewing a guy who she thought was Vince Young?
I did not.
Oh, God. I felt so bad for that reporter, but it's a video that's out there right now. It was just some dude out there, and they mistook the guy for Vince Young, the former Texas Longhorn NFL quarterback, and the hilarity ensued, let's just say.
Speaking of reporter, Holly Rowe last night. Kudos to Holly Rowe for in the post-game interview with the head coach of Oklahoma, because the coach is holding her 2 grandkids, and at one point in the interview, she's like, I saw this. She said something about they're getting heavy. Yeah. Holly Rowe just grabs one of them from her. She's like, let me lighten that load for you. Holly Rowe just grabs one of the kids, holds the kid for the rest of the interview. The coach put the other one down. So now Holly's got one the coach has none. And she just finishes the interview and then hands a grandkid back to the coach.
Yeah,
Holly Rowe going over the top. Hey, you know what? Hey, coach, I got it. Just give me one of those. I'm strong enough.
Holly Rowe is great. She's really, really good at what she does. All right, when we come back, we got a lot more to get into, including it may not be over for the boys at TNT after next year. We'll tell you why. Jenkins Floors and More, 6 East Commerce Hernando, no more. They have moved. They have taken their operations a little closer to metropolitan Memphis. They are in Horn Lake, Mississippi at 2356 Goodman Road. They are now open. Their warehouse is open for you. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. All types. I mean, variety. It is the spice of life, and that's what they have if you are looking for flooring and carpeting, including hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, ceramic and porcelain tiles, backsplashes for your kitchen and bathrooms. They just opened over the weekend, again, at 2356 Goodman Road. They have stores as well in Little Rock and in Cleveland, Mississippi. Residential, commercial, homeowners, contractors. Do yourself a favor, see what Jenkins Floors and More has to offer. They sell it wholesale. So they skip that middleman. They're going to save you lots of money. They will install and do so with an unheard of 2-week turnaround. Let them stop by your home or office, your business, and show you what they can do with a free estimate, free samples. They'll show you what it will look like. And again, they'll get the job done in 2 weeks. For all your flooring needs, your carpeting needs, there's one place to call, Jenkins Floors and More. That's 662-469-9350, 662-469-9350. Financing available, open Monday through Saturday, Jenkins Floors and More. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Something amazing is happening when power outages strike. Teams are powering through them. That's because CDW Solutions architects are building more resilient IT and electrical infrastructures with Schneider Electric. With EcoCare remote monitoring services and 24/7 support, your organization can do more than keep the lights on. Schneider Electric and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/schneiderelectric.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in town Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. At times, there's still some volume there coming out of Collierville on 385 Millmore Parkway as you work your way towards 240. Traffic's holding up right now out here as far as serious accidents. Now, a little bit more volume in the last few minutes, but it's been quiet so far. 40 westbound from Sycamore View Road, trying to get on that flyover there to 240. Some of that traffic coming off onto Sam Cooper coming inbound. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Make it Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 8:30 the time. Halfway home on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Getting you set for the sports weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd. Inside the NBA, it's been a conversation piece now for several weeks since the news came down that the NBA package will go from TNT to NBC after next season. You got ESPN, you got TNT, but now you're going to have ESPN, you're going to have NBC, so ABC/ESPN, NBC. TNT's out in the cold. So what's going to happen to that great Inside the NBA show? Well, TNT, according to reports, is currently negotiating to secure some NBA media rights. It's not over until it's over, sources say. TNT is still at the table for a smaller, less expensive fourth package that could include regular season and some playoff games. Another scenario for the NBA to slice off a package of locally televised games from teams and turn them into national games for TNT. So if this does come to fruition, more national games, I think better for everybody. And to save this crew, to keep them intact, doing what they do so well, the award-winning Inside the NBA crew.
Yeah, Adam Silver talked yesterday about the whole thing, and as he said, there's only so many games to distribute, but they certainly would love to keep TNT in it, but they have to let's figure out if there's any way to make that work.
Well, yeah, I understand what Silver's saying, and we'll get to the possible expansion in a second, when he talks about basically watering it down. But to me, it's heightened when it's national. I love our local broadcasts, and I watch the local broadcasts, but once in a while you watch the national, and you hear Chuck and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie doing their thing. They can elevate a Memphis versus New Orleans game. They can elevate any game that's out there. So, yes, there's a limited amount of games to some degree. I think what he's saying is there is a limited amount of marquee matchups. You want the big markets, certainly. You want the star players. Well, every team just about has a star. Not everybody's a great big market. But once Ja came here and they started putting the Grizzlies on a little bit more on national TV, it just, and they saw what he was able to do on the court, it ballooned. People around the country and around the world took notice of the Grizzlies. They took notice of John Morant. And they took notice of Zion Williamson when he's on the court, when he can stay healthy, like he did for the most part this past year. I'm just using that as an example. I think there's ways to do that, to keep TNT. Hey, it's more money for them. It's more money for the NBA. So we'll see what happens with that. As far as the possibility of adding a couple of more teams without watering down the product, you had mentioned that when John was on. And Adam Silver talked about it yesterday. Why not? I mean, don't go crazy. Like, I don't think the NFL should be adding anything, but the NBA to add a couple more teams, I could see that.
Yeah, he talked that is something that's one of the things they are doing and want to do is explore expansion. Obviously the two cities that everybody talks about are Vegas and Seattle as the most likely. Although he said, they do want to. They at some point, and it may not be the right time now, but they do want to look outside the U.S. As possibilities for expansion in the long term. But they're looking at it now and kind of weighing what the possibilities are. But yeah, as I said, I think with the influx of foreign players, the amount of foreign players now that are in the league and available, I think if you added two teams, I think the league would be fine. I don't think that dilutes the talent too much at all. So, it's I think, and it doesn't appear as though there's any franchises that would be moving anytime soon. Mm-hmm. And I think the NBA, I think with what Seattle has done, certainly, I think the NBA would love to get back there. And I think with Vegas now, the whole taboo thing of having a team in Vegas being wiped away and everything else, I think the NBA probably, like the others, would love to get a team in Vegas. So certainly I think within the next, probably 5 years or so, they will probably expand into those two markets.
I would also think that, let's say it is Vegas and Seattle, if they do decide to expand, then I think more than likely you're going to have Memphis move over to the East.
It's a possibility. I still think Minnesota would make more sense to move to the East, but I don't know.
But if you add two, would you have to move? If you add two to the West, don't you move two over to the East?
No.
No?
You have to move one.
Just one?
You got to get 16 in both.
Okay. Yeah, that would add That'd be 18 in the East.
So I just think Minnesota makes more sense because they have
17. Yeah.
They have teams in the East in their neighborhood. It's with Detroit and even Chicago and like up there. Like the Grizzlies moved to the East. It's not like suddenly they have like teams close by. There's nobody close by to Memphis in the East either. Like so really Memphis in the West with New Orleans, Dallas, Oklahoma City like makes more sense. Whereas Minnesota, they don't have anybody in the West anywhere near them at all. Whereas in the East, they do have some teams up there. That kind of northern pocket is at least somewhat close to them.
Right, but I think
the closest team to Minnesota in the West is Denver.
But how many teams play in the West that are east of the Mississippi River? New Orleans is on the east side, right?
I'm not exactly sure where the river
Memphis
goes.
is, and then what about Minneapolis, Minnesota?
It's right on the river. I don't know what technically side.
Yeah. So right now there's 30 teams, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're right. If you added 2 to the West, you go 17. You'd have to move 1 over. That would make it 16 and 16. So I don't know. That's a possibility, though, because people have been clamoring for that for years. But you're right. In reality, there's not a lot of close teams to Memphis. I guess Atlanta would be the closest that's in the East.
Yeah. But again, you've got New Orleans, you've got Oklahoma City, you've got Dallas in the West.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Minnesota goes immediately with Detroit, Milwaukee. Like they've got, and again, they have nobody in the West. Minnesota in the West is completely by themselves.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was a podcast yesterday that I heard the clip that they put on X it's Paul George's podcast, Podcast P with Paul George, and Zebo was the guest. And Zach was great. You talk about a guy who represents Memphis. I know he wasn't born in Memphis, but he calls it his city and has a home here and is here often and still does things for the Grizzlies and makes appearances. And he talked about how when he first came to Memphis, even though his father was from Memphis and he had family ties to Memphis, he said, man, I just thought to myself, oh, God, Memphis. I'm going to Memphis. This is going to be bad. And then he said very quickly, it turned out to be the greatest move that he could have made for not only his career, but for him as an individual, with his family, of course, but him as a human being, and just praised as Paul George and there was somebody, I don't know who else is on that podcast, but they were asking him about Marc Gasol, and he talked about Mark, being raised here in Memphis and listening to 3-6 Mafia and all that. He was like a Memphian, and calling him basically a brother. And then Mike Conley, the kind words that Randolph had for Mike Conley, which again is not surprising because everybody loves Mike Conley, but just to hear that, put a smile on my face to listen to Zach praise the city, praise the organization. Love to hear it. So again, it was on yesterday. I don't know how often Paul does his podcast. I don't know if it's a weekly thing, a daily thing, but it's the Podcast P with Paul George and Zebo on there yesterday.
I want to know Zach, do you have any idea how often LeBron and JJ Redick do the podcast?
I don't.
I want to know when the next one is. I really want to know when they're recording a new podcast or scheduled to, and if they will.
Now, I'm waiting for the new podcast, the LeBron James with Dan Hurley podcast.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped something now until Sunday, because you got 2 days off in between.
But I can't imagine they want to do one right now.
I know.
It would just be an uncomfortable thing. You can't just not talk about the Lakers coaching situation.
No, they'll talk all about the NBA final, Caitlin Clark, and that's it. They'll move on. They won't mention the Lakers.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Shall we?
It's just another thing you have to talk about it, and that's just a weird. So, LeBron, What have you heard about what's going on with the coaching situation? I have a little interest in what's going on there.
Am I still in? Am I in the mix? LeBron, am I in the mix?
What can I do for you today? Can I get you something to drink while we're on the show? Anything I can help you with that you might that might earn me a little favor with you and the boys over there? But
he's like, no, this Dan Hurley guy.
he's like, dude,
he's really good.
I got a lot of dirt on Dan Hurley. I don't know if you want to hear it or not, but he's actually dumb. He's terrible. He's a horrendous coach.
This week's special guest on the LeBron James with JJ Redick podcast, Bobby Hurley. Bobby Hurley will be joining us to talk about the Hurley family.
He's like, Bobby has told me all kinds of stuff. Bobby, his own brother doesn't even like him. The dude, his own brother hates him. It's really, there's no way you should hire him.
And we call ourselves the Brotherhood because we stick together, you know.
By the way, Jeff Goodman, he reported that the offer that UConn has on the table for Dan Hurley would make him one of the 3 highest paid coaches in America with John Calipari and Bill Self. So again, it's not going to be as much as the Lakers, but he would be into the top of the top when it comes to college basketball coaches.
Cal doesn't have in his contract that he has to be at a certain spot, right? Is that just professional coaches' contracts?
Well, Nick Saban had it.
Saban had it?
I don't know that. I don't think Cal. I wouldn't think Cal has it. And obviously, he just got a new contract at a new school. I have no idea what is in that contract. I'm not even sure what he and Self are making money wise. But according to Jeff Goodman, Hurley's offer from UConn would put him in that category with those as the 3 highest paid.
Well, if money, let's just say Connecticut had as much money readily available to shell out as Arkansas and Kansas does, then there's no doubt that Danny Hurley should be the highest paid college basketball coach, period. I know Bill Self has had a lot of success. I know. I understand. So has Calipari. But right now, there's no better coach. And back-to-back national titles. And you got a Los Angeles Lakers team that's not trying to lure Calipari or Bill Self to Los Angeles. It's Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley should be the highest paid coach.
Guns, guns, and guns. That's what it's about at Classic Arms of Memphis. ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com is the website where you can shop online 24/7. Or you can go see them at 1740 Germantown Parkway. It's right behind Corky's there on Germantown Road, that shopping center. That's where you'll find Classic Arms, and that's where you're going to find everything in the world of guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. So if you're looking for home defense, if you're looking for hunting guns, or whether you're looking for a new gun, whether you're looking for maybe an old gun, the collector, whatever, they got it all. They buy, they sell, they trade. They do it all at Classic Arms. So if you're trying to get rid of a gun, well, go check it out over there because they do buy. And again, they will trade as well. They got all of the top brand names there is out there. Guaranteed lowest price in town. They're the only gun importer in the Mid-South. They will do free gun inspections and appraisals as well over at Classic Arms. Of course, they have all the other supplies, gun cabinets, gun safes, ammo, anything else that you need, they've got you taken care of at Classic Arms. Again, 1740 Germantown Parkway, right behind Corky's in Cordova, or online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, appearance, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together. Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Yesterday, we were talking with Showboats head coach John DeFilippo. You asked him about Dawood Davis, who made the all-UFL team, first year of the UFL. He was the only Showboat representative, and you said he will, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but basically he'll be with the team, with an NFL team. And then yesterday, news comes down that he has signed with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, he was definitely going to be in camp with somebody. I think he's got a great chance if he stays healthy and everything to make a team. Certainly, at least I think would be a practice squad guy. And he was with Miami till for camp last year, and may have had a chance to make their team if he had not had the serious injury on the hit in their preseason game. But he's got a lot of talent. He had a great year for the Showboats. So happy for him to get that opportunity, and hopefully he can make the team and be a part of the Panthers.
From the world of golf, the Memorial is this week, got underway yesterday. Scotty Scheffler won off the lead after shooting a 5 under 67. This is one of those elevated tournaments, so a huge field with big names all over the place. But one day, maybe it'll be a field with all the big names, because once again, according to reports, sometime today, officials from Saudi Arabia's PIF will meet with PGA Tour Transaction Committee members, including Rory McIlroy, who will do it by Zoom. They're going to meet today in New York City and at least get back to the negotiating tables, if they've even gotten that far, to try to figure out what they can do for the future. I think everybody would be excited to see the elevated events. Obviously, the majors, you have the members of LIV that qualify, but who knows about the future of golf? Most believe now on both sides of the ledger that it has been fractured. Anytime you have a league where not everybody is able to participate, then it certainly is fractured. So I don't know if they'll get anywhere with these talks today, but at least they're back to the table, and that's what's important.
Yeah, we shall see where it goes. I just really hope that Piff the Magic Dragon is part of the talks. I think he could bring a lot of comedy to the thing, and maybe that would lighten up the mood, and they could get something done if Piff was actually in the room. A little bit of magic, a little bit of comedy, deal done.
Wasn't he on the what's the show?
He was on America's Got Talent.
That's it.
He's awesome. Piff is
America's
awesome.
Got Talent.
Piff is a huge deal now.
He's from England?
I don't know where he's from for sure.
Doesn't he come out like smoking a cigarette and has a drink in his hand?
Something, yeah. But he's a huge. He's making a ton of money in Vegas. Like, he is a big deal in Vegas.
Good for him, man. Well, a lot of people have come from those shows, right? All those different shows. Major League Baseball. Chicago White Sox did it again. They've now lost 14 in a row. That's the longest losing streak in the history of the Pale Hose, and they go way back, ladies and gentlemen. The previous record of 13 was set from August 9th, between August 9th and August 26th of 1924. So it's exactly 100 years, year-wise, month-wise, a couple of months shy of 100 years. And now they've lost 14 in a row. They stand on the season now at 15-48. Their run differential is a minus 152.
If they lose today, they will have lost 15 straight games and only have 15 total wins for the year. Like, that is...
Wow.
They are so bad. Yeah, they had the Cubs beat 2 straight nights. Like, they went up 5-0 in one game and 5-1 in the other. And the Cubs came back. Their bullpen is a train wreck of epic proportions. Like, they are, man, I don't, like, that is, it's so bad that I almost feel bad for them.
No, you don't.
I said I almost.
I know. That's why I said.
Like, if it gets to 20.
No way.
If it gets to 20, I might feel bad for them. But, like, it's as pathetic as it gets. Like, they're getting, like, Oakland crowds. Like, there's nobody going to their games. Like, it is just a disaster.
It is so bad, Wolo has put all his attention now on the Cubs.
Well, they're terrible too. So Cubs aren't. The only team the Cubs can beat are the White Sox. So it's like not like the Cubs are some great thing right now. They're struggling mightily.
Yankee slugger Juan Soto was removed from Thursday night's game against the Twins because of left forearm discomfort. He'll undergo imaging today. Aaron Boone said it's too early to tell if the right fielder will need to miss time. That's not good. Yankees are getting set this weekend to play the Dodgers. Could be a World Series preview. I'm hoping it will not be. I'm hoping it'll be the Phillies versus the Orioles. But great weekend series. Of course, the Phillies will be playing in England. So some interesting baseball coming up this weekend. We got interesting baseball at the college level. We'll talk about this later on in hour number 3 as the Super Regionals are set. 4 of the games get underway today. 4 tomorrow. We'll tell you about all those matchups coming up in hour number 3. We'll be joined right off the bat in hour number 3 by Ed DeRosa, horse racing analyst and insider for Horse Racing Nation. We'll get his breakdown of the Belmont. Hopefully win you a few dollars if you feel like betting some horse racing over the weekend. And then 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation, give you a chance to win a terrific prize package. That's all coming up in our final hour. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, a great option for lunch or dinner today, this weekend. Bring the family to Corky's. 4 locations, Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They've been serving up that delicious slow smoke barbecue for 4 decades. They've been catering that entire time. So if you have an event coming up, you want it catered by Corky's, they can do that for you. Just get in touch with them. When you head on over for lunch, ask about their lunch specials. Add a third of a rack of ribs for just $7.99 when you purchase an entree. Maybe their barbecue sandwich, maybe their award-winning catfish plate, anything like a tamale or a hamburger. All counts as an entree. Get that deal on the third of a rack of ribs for just $7.99. They got party packs starting at just $7.49. Pick up a Corky's gift card while you're there. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's silly season in the life of your roof. I'm Brian Elder, 867-0303. The weather can be unpredictable, and I'm ready to get intrusion due to snow buildup. Ask about military and first responder discounts. 901-867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store with 20 employees along with complete inventory of items. They deliver. Finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and River grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, and your keys to complete programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws. You need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has. They're just down the street at the corner of Ritz and White Station. Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is an ACUSA church located in town Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been a lot lighter than normal out here as far as that traffic volume, but it has picked up just a bit over here on Austin P Highway southbound. Getting up on that ramp there to I-40. Plenty of radar out here this morning, especially coming down sections of I-40 in Fayette County. Be careful over in parts of Arkansas as well, just west of West Memphis, headed out towards Forest City there on I-40. Be careful. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry right here in Memphis has specialized in bridal ring purchases since 1984. Shop local and save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. 9 o'clock is the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you, broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, this weekend may be a good time to go check them out, see what's going on as we're all ready for summer, and summer is just about upon us. You can check out all the great deals at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. That's Family Leisure. Currently 75 degrees, looking at 89 for a high today with sunshine tonight. Very comfortable, 65 degrees, clear to partly cloudy, and the weekend looks to be very, very nice. Hour 3 of the program brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. They are now in Horn Lake, Mississippi, 2356 Goodman Road, as they've opened up the new showroom. Last weekend, in fact, they got it open. They used to be in Hernando. They also have stores in Little Rock and Cleveland, Mississippi, so go visit them at their new showroom in Horn Lake. Family-owned and operated local business that specializes in flooring and carpeting. They sell it wholesale, skipping the middleman, saving you lots of money. Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins started this business about 8 years ago in their garage down in Cleveland, and because of their quality of work, their attention to detail, and their pricing, they have earned the reputation of being one of the top flooring companies in the area. Ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, the SPC and WPC vinyls. These are top of the line, scratch resistant and waterproof. They got the backsplashes for your kitchens and bathrooms, plantation shutters and blinds as well. For both residential and commercial, so homeowners and contractors, Do yourself a favor, see what Jenkins Floors and More has to offer. They will install and do so with an unheard of 2-week turnaround. Financing is available. Just stop by or call them at 662-469-9350. They will come to you and give you a free estimate. Military, first responders, 10% off. And Sports 56 listeners, ask about their family discount. Great family, great people, great service. Open Monday through Saturday. Call them at 662-469-9350. It's Jenkins Floors and More. Final leg of the Triple Crown is coming up Saturday, tomorrow. It'll be raced, the Belmont Stakes, not in New York City or Long Island, wherever it's technically Belmont, in Elmont, New York, I think it is. But the race will actually take place at Saratoga Springs, Saratoga Racecourse in upstate New York, which is strange, but they got some construction going on, I guess, at Belmont. We'll find out more about that with Ed DeRosa, who's going to join us to break down this third leg of the Triple Crown. There will not be a Triple Crown winner, but this could be a dandy race. Ed DeRosa is the horse racing analyst and insider for Horse Racing Nation. You can follow him on Twitter at EJXDT. He's our insider for horse racing. He's Ed DeRosa, and he joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
All right, give me the background here, because got to be honest with you, I had no idea until I saw the promo for the race on NBC that it was from Saratoga. Is it renovations? Is that what's going on? Construction at Belmont? That's why they had to move it?
Yeah, and I wouldn't even call it renovations. It's a complete rebuild.
Whoa.
They've destroyed the grandstand. They're putting in synthetic surface and inside one of the turf courses. It's totally reimagined and going to be rebuilt. So because of that, not only this year but also next year, the Belmont Stakes will be in Saratoga.
And because of that, also, it's not the normal mile and a half, right? It's a mile and a quarter.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can run any distance on a track, but they would have had to have started on the turn. It just would have been a mess at a mile and a half. So, I understand why they went to a mile and a quarter, and we'll do so again next year. Hopefully back to a mile and a half when Belmont reopens in 26.
And aren't they redoing Pimlico too now?
They are, yeah.
So will that affect the Preakness next year?
So they're doing it not quite to the extent that Belmont is. They're not doing anything with the track itself, so they'll be able to reuse that. Similarly, 20 years ago now, but Gulfstream Park did a rebuild, but was able to keep the track, and they called it the tent meet. So I'm not really sure what that means for Pimlico, because they need something a little nicer than tents for a Triple Crown race. But, it's definitely going to be an under construction Preakness, if not next year, then the year after that.
So obviously, when we talk about records, and Secretariat owns the record from all these races, the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont records and things of that nature, all the stats and numbers and stuff are out the window.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It is the Belmont Stakes, so from a standpoint of who the winning trainer is and jockey, that'll count as a win in the Belmont. Same with the sire and things like that. But for record purposes, the time is completely meaningless versus other Belmonts. I don't think anyone ever was going to beat Secretariat's 31 length, but that's definitely not in play at a mile and a quarter anyway. So, yeah, it's sort of academic that it's the Belmont Stakes, versus the history of it. But it is still, the Triple Crown race. It's a Grade 1. It's worth, $2 or $3 million. And it's going to play a big role in deciding the top 3-year-old of the year. So lots at stake.
What did you think of the Preakness and the performance by Seize the Gray?
Well, it was definitely not my finest moment. I was against Seize the Gray, pretty foolishly against, bearish on his chances. And I even had a tweet, I forget it was Friday or early Saturday, but, the odds came out, and at the time, Seize the Gray was 7-1, which just seemed ridiculous to me. And I even tweeted in response, imagine betting Seize the Gray at 7-1. And sure enough, it wasn't 10 seconds after he crossed the finish line, I started getting the bad takes exposed type stuff. But, you got to have a strong opinion in this game if you're going to push your edge and try to win. And unfortunately, that was an opinion that didn't work out. But all credit to the jockey. I mean, Imagination, Bob Baffert's runner, was completely empty, and he was from the start, and he just took the race to the rest of them. And I've seen enough races. This was one of those moments. A quarter of a mile into the race, I said to myself, "Oh, S-H-I-T," because I knew this horse wasn't going to stop. I mean, in the slop, he looked great on the front end, had no challenge whatsoever. And, that's what you got to do to win these races sometimes. Unfortunately for him in the Belmont, I do think he's going to have more company up front, and that's going to make it more difficult for him.
Well, we'll get your thoughts in a second on how you think that will go down at Saratoga. Ed DeRosa joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest lines. But one more thing about Seize the Gray and about gray horses in general. I know it's a kind of a myth. It's an urban legend out there. But there are some people that if there is a gray horse in a race, they will always bet the gray horse. I used to think that way as well. Is there any numbers that back the success rate of gray horses? They always seem to be there.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of confirmation bias, and they stick out more than any other color. So, you kind of remember it for that reason. But I will say, genetically, to be gray, you have, you're getting the recessive gene. And breeders of thoroughbreds definitely feel like there is an edge when the mother passes along a recessive gene. So from that philosophy, it definitely makes sense that a gray horse would actually, maybe not be better. They're still individuals, but it makes sense that a gray gives you a little more hope because that means that they've gotten a recessive gene from their mother.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you've got Seize the Gray, obviously the Preakness winner, Mystic Dan as well in this one. What do you think of Mystic Dan's chances of making it 2 out of 3?
Well, it ain't bad, which I have to say because Meatloaf's my favorite singer. But I actually think he's up against it here, which I hate to say because love the connection, love that they're being this sporting to running all three. And there's, if he wins this, he's going to be the champion 3-year-old. So there's a lot of reasons to run here. But the one I'm really into speed figures, proprietary data that tries to tell you how a horse ran in each race. And Mystic Dan, the positive is he's very consistent, but that's also a negative because he's never actually had this breakthrough wow performance. I mean, the Derby was great, but I would say the wow performance in the Derby was Brian Hernandez's ride. Cutting the corner, shooting that hole in the rail when Track Phantom opened it up for him. That was the difference maker. I don't think in the long run he ran any better than Sierra Leone or Forever Young. So without that breakthrough performance, and now this is his 3rd race in 5 weeks, I just think he's going to be overbet, and I'm going to try to beat him.
What about Todd Pletcher's horse, Mind Frame? There's a lot of talk about this horse. It will come out of the 3 slot, 7-2, the last time I checked.
Well, I do think Todd Pletcher is going to win the Belmont, but I don't think it's going to be with this horse. It's just too much too soon. This is his 3rd career start, and he's basically going from hitting dingers in college with an aluminum bat to facing a Cy Young Award winner in the big. It's a huge step up, not only in class, but he has to stretch out to a mile and a quarter as well. He's a real talent. I'm sure he'll run well, and big things will be ahead later in the year. But at the price, I'm just playing that it's too much too soon for him.
Do you agree with the fact that Sierra Leone is the favorite in this race? Do you believe that should be the favorite?
I do. I think he's the most likely winner. I think he will take too much money. So even though I think he's the most likely winner, I don't think I'll agree with the public in how likely he is to win. But it's just tough to deny what we've seen from him this year. He hasn't had a bad race. The Risen Star was awesome. The Bluegrass was even better. And then the Derby, he had his issues, and, it would have been interesting to see if he won, if there would have been an inquiry at that point. But even if you think he should have come down or, all that dialogue, the fact is he ran well. And his 3 races this year are, better than I would say anything we've seen from anyone else in the field. So I get why he's the favorite, but he is a closer, and that's not ideal for a mile and a quarter at Saratoga. A lot of people make the mistake mistake. They think the longer the race, the better it is for horses in the back of the pack. And that's just not true. And especially at Saratoga, you want to be a little more forward typically than Sierra Leone's going to be. So while I do think he is the most likely winner, I think there's enough conspiring against him, including an outside post position, that I'm willing to take a shot against him.
All right, so let's just say Sierra Leone wins. Then you would have Sierra Leone winning the Belmont, Mystic Dan the Derby, Seize the Gray, the Preakness. Does Visa, they still have that Visa award, the whatever multi-million-dollar payout for the one that wins, has the most success in the Triple Crown races? So how would you break that down if you have three different winners?
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have the bonus, and I think they need to bring it back because I'd like to see a little more participation from Derby horses in the next two races.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins, to me it would depend on where Mystic Dan finishes. Because if Mystic Dan were to be in the top three, that would mean he won the Derby and placed in the other two. And I definitely would give him the edge over Sierra Leone as the winner of one and the runner-up in another one. Obviously, if Seize the Gray or Mystic Dan were to win here, then I would, give either the edge in that regard. So Sierra Leone can sort of tie it up, but the fact that Mystic Dan is running both, I value a lot. So do my peers. So when it comes time to kind of think about who the top 3-year-old is, unless Mystic Dan throws a complete clunker, I think he'll still be regarded as the top 3-year-old with that Derby win and having run in all three.
Are there any of the horses in this field that would have benefited if it had been the traditional mile and a half?
Well, Sierra Leone for sure.
Right.
Now the negative with him, I think he wants to run far. The negative with him again is the pace, and a mile and a half he definitely would have needed the pace to run into. But the other benefit I would say for Sierra Leone is we probably wouldn't have as many horses if it were a mile and a half. Unfortunately in this day and age that's sort of a deal breaker for some trainers. But I do think horses like Antiquarian and the Wine Steward would still be in the Belmont, and they probably appreciate the mile and a half as well. So, I think it's worked out. I hate to call it a novelty because it's a Triple Crown race and it's prestigious, but certainly that it's at Saratoga and it's a mile and a quarter is different, and people are responding to it. Handle yesterday at Saratoga was $18 million. That was a record. That was a record for a Thursday in June for horse racing.
Wow.
A Thursday in June has never handled that much money. And they run on Thursday Belmont week when it's at Belmont Park, so it's not like it was a new day altogether. So people are digging it. They like it at Saratoga. It's been fun. It's great racing. But I'm not even a purist, but I've been around the game long enough. I hope it goes back to a mile and a half.
Ed, what's the weather forecast for the race?
It's clearing up. Earlier in the week, there was wailing and gnashing of the teeth, and people were, I think, considering offering a sacrifice. And maybe they did. Maybe that's why the weather cleared up. But it was supposed. We were seeing a lot of rain. And yesterday was the day they said, "Oh man, even if it doesn't rain Friday or Saturday, forget about Thursday. It's going to be a deluge." Never happened. Some rain overnight. They're on the turf today. Tomorrow looks clear until after the races. So, whatever candle someone lit or dance they did at work, because the weather is vastly improved.
So what's your trifecta?
I'm swinging for the fences, guys. I think Sierra Leone and Mind Frame and Mystic Dan and Seize the Gray, the top 4 choices, are all going to be over bet. I don't think any of them have to win. So I'm not using any of them in the top spot. I like Antiquarian is my top pick, number 4. The Wine Steward finished second to him in the Peter Pan. I think both can run well right back here in the Belmont. And then Resilience, another horse out of the Derby, who made a pretty bold move and just kind of flattened out. He's in here, and I think he's dangerous at a decent price. He'll be 10-1 or better. So trifecta-wise, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if people wanted to throw Sierra Leone in for a trifecta, but I'm going heavy on an exacta box 2, 4, 5. I'm going to try to beat all the favorites out of the top 2 and make a score in the exacta.
All right, you're swinging for the fences, and I can understand that. You want a price, and you want a good price. For a conservative bettor out there, I mean, you knocked out the top 4, but for a conservative bettor, is there a way to make a little bit of money on one of the favorites?
Yeah, what I would do, you want to be a little more conservative and say, or, maybe even say, yeah, I agree with that. Sierra Leone's the most likely winner. I don't care about price. I just want the most likely winner. There's a bet called the trifecta key. And what that means is you take one horse and the horses you use with it. So you have your key horse, Sierra Leone, and then the horses you have with it can finish in any order behind that horse. So I would do a trifecta key 9, which is Sierra Leone, with 2, 4, 5. And that's a little more conservative way of, you're using the favorite, but then you got a couple prices underneath because you're still trying to beat some of the other horses. And that just costs $6 for a buck.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then the other bet I would say, because I really like Antiquarian here, and I'm not a big place or show bettor, but for those, looking for some action, they want to watch the race but don't want to win a couple bucks, maybe they want to double their money, something like that, I would bet Antiquarian to show.
He is Ed DeRosa, horse racing analyst and insider for Horse Racing Nation, our horse racing insider. You can follow him on Twitter at EJXD2. Ed, possibly if your schedule works out, Breeders' Cup, maybe we can get you on to kind of break down the Breeders' Cup for us. We'll do this again, hopefully next year, God willing, for the Triple Crown races. Have a great time at Saratoga. Great summer, Ed. We'll talk to you down the road.
Appreciate it, guys. Let's win some money.
Thank you, Ed.
If the 3 that he went with did hit for the trifecta,
wow,
that would be some money.
Yes.
That would be some money.
He is swinging for the fence.
So that's, from what I'm looking at right now, that would be 12-1, 15-1, and 10-1. So if that hits, that's you're running to the bank.
Yes, you are.
That would be a,
and you're not looking back.
That would be a real nice hit for the trifecta right there. But again, he did say that Sierra Leone is the most likely winner. Mm-hmm. He's going for the bigger payout as far as his trifecta that he gave us. Speaking of payouts, how about Genesis Diamonds? You get a great deal right now. You don't even have to win big money on the Belmont Stakes to be able to go afford great jewelry. And right now they're making it real affordable with 0 interest financing for 5 years on any purchase. That's right. Any item, pick anything in the store, Genesis Diamonds. Pay 0 down, spread your payments over 5 years, even the sales tax as well. So a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month. This is, again, on everything in store, including their luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, engagement rings, whatever it is that you're looking for, they can do 5 years, 0% financing with approved credit at Genesis Diamonds. So don't let those high interest rates, rising costs, all that stuff bum you out. Go check out the amazing prices, the amazing selection, the amazing service, and 0 interest financing for 5 years right now. Genesis Diamonds, it's this month through June 30th at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
We got some NCAA baseball tournament super regional action that starts today. We'll talk about that a little bit later on here in our final hour. But when we come back, it's all about 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. Last week, first person won. We did a second chance. Second person won. If you want to, now this is not as easy a question, but if you wait, sometimes you get shut out. 360-8255. The Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. We're playing 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. When we return, this is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Corky's Barbecue.
Hi, this is Jay Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out of the store. barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out of the store.
Booting Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety toe boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Times Ranch jeans. At Hewitt & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewitt & Dunn Booting Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewitt & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewitt & Dunn. Hewitt & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Boys and More. And once again, Mark Gaston and Eli Support.
Welcome back, everybody. 9:25 is the time. As I mentioned earlier, yesterday, Memphis officially announced 4 of their new transfer players that are signed. And these guys have been at the school now for probably a week and have been signed for a while, but they are slowly officially announcing it. So the latest today, Baraka Okoji, who is another transfer as he comes to Memphis and will be one of their guards. A slow burn, if you will, as far as the announcement of these players. 4 were announced yesterday to the team. Time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. It's 10 in a row. It is brought to you by both Napa Cafe and the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill. Where can you go for all your sports needs, to watch all the games on the big screens, to enjoy great food and great drink, great camaraderie? It's the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable. I mean comfortable, with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games. In fact, the University of Memphis, the Tigers Tour, they will be coming very soon to the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill with some of their coaches. That should be a fun time. all over-the-wall taps for all your favorite beers, including non-alcoholic and local craft beers. In front of the wall, you got the full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. They have an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events. And you found all your sports in one right place. It's all at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. It is a fabulous place, and they got lunch specials from 11 to 3 every single day. So if you're looking to try out a new place for lunch, maybe to go with your fellow workers, your coworkers, or just bring the family out to lunch, they have all types of great lunch options, including sliders and salads, sandwiches and soups, quesadillas. Check it out. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill. It's in the Lakeland Town Square. Check them out for lunch today, this weekend. Watch the sporting events and enjoy great times in Lakeland.
Napa Cafe celebrating 26 years in 2024. Glenda Hastings, the owner over there, and her great staff. Great place to go for a nice night out. Enjoy a great, great meal. Maybe celebrating a special occasion. Ask about the private wine cellar, which is a great place to go. Enjoy yourself for a special celebration, maybe for a birthday or an anniversary or something like that. Enjoy some of their great food, like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs, or any of their great seafood dishes, their pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass. They've got great desserts like their buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or you can drink your dessert with one of their signature dessert cocktails like their lemon cheesecake martini. All these great things you can find at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin. You can, of course, dine in and enjoy these great foods, or you can get the entire menu curbside pickup as well if you want to take it home. They're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner, starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, you can go to napacafe.com. You can check out the entire menu on the website as well. So it's a great place to go with a big crowd, for a small, intimate evening. Whatever you're looking to do, go check them out at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin.
All right, what's the prize package today?
The winner of 10 in a row has got a $25 gift certificate to the Owner's Box, $25 gift certificate to Mugshots Bar and Grill out in Collierville and Olive Branch, a couple of Malco movie passes, and golf for 4 at Miramichi.
Wow. Nice prize package. If you'd like to participate, hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255. Here's the question. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders. I'll give you the name of a player. If they are in the top 25 of all-time scoring, it's a yes. If not, it's a no.
Total points or average?
Total points. Total points. For example, Eli, if I was to say John Conchar,
I'd say yes.
and you would be wrong. So it's a great prize package. If you'd like to play, jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines right now at 901-360-8255. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders.
You get $25 to the Owner's Box, $25 to Mugshots Bar and Grill, a couple of Malco movie passes, and golf for 4. That's right, 4 foursome out at Miramichi, all for the winner of 10 in a row today.
At the Memorial, they're underway, round number 2. Adam Hadwin, the Canadian, should have won last week in the Canadian Open, leads by 2 strokes. He has 7 under par, and he leads Tommy Fleetwood and Scotty Scheffler. Scheffler will begin his second round at 140. Again, this is an elevated tournament, so a number of big names playing in Jack's tournament. Even if it wasn't elevated, I wonder, it's Jack's tournament. Do you still play? In this day and age, with the greed, I mean, the money, probably some guys would be bailing out and not playing. And then Jack's talked about having an issue with when it is on the schedule. But again, it's Jack's tournament. It's elevated. And the big names are there playing at the Memorial in Dublin, Ohio.
Well, he's always, I mean, they've always had a good field. They did all play, but he's always had a good field because it's Jack.
Right, but do you remember when they stopped going to, now Arnie passed away, but they stopped going to Arnie's tournament and then they stopped going a little bit to the Colonial, which is that Hogan's? There's only so many tournaments you can play. And if that wasn't an elevated tournament, there would be some that would stop playing at Jack's tournament. But it's elevated, so that's not a problem.
Sean is going to lead us off for 10 in a row. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders. Okay? Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
360-8255. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders.
John is next. Hello, John.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Kawhi Leonard.
No.
Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
No.
Larry Bird.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
Yes.
John Stockton.
Yes.
360-8255. Good run there by John.
Good run. Anthony is next. Hello, Anthony.
Anthony.
Hey, how's it going?
Going
Good,
well,
man.
thank you. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders. Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Patrick Ewing.
No.
Ray Allen.
No.
Steph Curry.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler.
No.
James Harden.
No.
360-8255. He doesn't show up for Game 7s, but he has scored a lot of points.
Making progress. Got a couple of open lines. 360-8255. This is his Log Cabin listener line to get in line. Try and win that great prize package. And let's see if Ryan can get it done. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Doing well, thank you. Kawhi Leonard.
No.
Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
No.
Larry Bird.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
No.
360-8255. Who's next?
Next up is Andre. Hey, Andre.
Andre? Oh.
See you, Andre. Let's see if Rob can do it. What's up, Rob?
Rob, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Patrick Ewing.
Yes.
360-8255. We're regressing a little bit. That's the numbers to call. The Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines, 901-360-8255. Question again. Top 25 all-time NBA playoff scoring leaders. If they're in the top 25, it's a yes.
Mario, what's up?
Hey, Mario.
Greg and Eli, how y'all doing?
Doing
good,
well.
man.
Thanks, my friend. Kawhi Leonard.
No.
Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
No.
Larry Bird.
Yes.
Tony Parker.
Yes.
John Stockton.
No.
Karl Malone.
Yes.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
I said him once again, but it's on my list. I'm repeating. Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Klay Thompson.
No.
Winner.
Winner. Mario, congratulations. You are a winner. Hold on. And Zach will tell you how to get your prizes.
Good job, Mario. I messed up. I put Paul Pierce twice, but the ones I used, here we go. Let's see. Number 5 all time is Shaq. Number 7 all time is KD. Number 8 is Karl Malone. Number 10 is Tony Parker. You got to think of guys who played a lot of games. Steph Curry's number 11. Dwayne Wade is number 12. We didn't get to Dwayne Wade. Number 13 is Larry Bird. And there's a couple more on this list. Since I didn't get to the rest of this first list, Eli, I'll ask you. We left off at James Harden. Chris Paul.
No.
Dwayne Wade, I just gave you that. That's a yes. Kevin McHale.
Yes.
It's a yes. He's number 22. Reggie Miller.
I'm going to go no.
It is a no. Just not enough games. Same deal with Patrick Ewing. They've all been in the playoffs. They've all had a lot of success, but those guys with the games that they have played in San Antonio, just absolutely amazing. So there you go. That's 10 in a row. It's brought to you each and every week by Napa Cafe and the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill. Enjoy your prize package, Mario. All right, so college baseball, they're now down to 16 teams. The Super Regionals, they will be held today through Monday. 4 of the series get underway today. 4 of the series get underway tomorrow. There are 5 SEC schools remaining. There are 5 ACC schools remaining, 10 of the 16. Your matchups today, Evansville, the Purple Aces, the big surprise, they play at Tennessee, the number 1 team overall in the country. UConn, look, they're making money in baseball, Eli. They can afford to keep their head coach Dan Hurley for basketball, can't they? UConn's playing at Florida State. Kansas State will be in Charlottesville taking on Virginia. And West Virginia will be in Chapel Hill taking on North Carolina. Some thoughts on those 4 series? Anything that sticks out?
Well, I just want to see if Tennessee just continues to dominate the way they did in the regional, and they are a massive favorite in the super regional, which is no surprise. They are the number 1 team, and Evansville is a surprise team to be there. I think Tennessee is a minus 800, I believe it is, in this super regional. So certainly just seeing if they continue to just mash the ball like they did in their regional when they killed everybody that they played.
It will be one of the great upsets in college baseball recent history if Tennessee doesn't win that one. I understand it's the super regional, and I give credit to Evansville. They're in the super regional for the first time in their history. But Tennessee's going to mash these guys. And if they don't, I'm going to eat crow, number 1. But number 2, it will go down as one of the great upsets. There's just, I don't see it. I do not see it. The other series, I think Florida State's going to beat UConn. But UConn continues to amaze me. We've talked about that. Baseball in stores. The whole first part of the year, they got to start on the road. There's snow up there. Hell, there's snow in April. And the season starts in February. Kansas State, Virginia. I like Virginia at home, and then North Carolina, West Virginia. I think that could be a good one, but I like North Carolina at home. The 4 that begin tomorrow, Oregon State and Kentucky. That's in Lexington. NC State and Georgia. That could be really fun. That's in Athens. Florida and Clemson, another one with a regional rivalry there. That will be in Clemson, South Carolina. That begins tomorrow. And Texas A&M in College Station will host Oregon. Bunch of SEC teams in those games, some ACC teams. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow, the ones that start tomorrow, there's obviously an SEC team in each one of them. Georgia's got the dude who just hits home run after home run after home run. Texas A&M, I think, is the second. I think Texas A&M has the second best odds to win the College World Series behind Tennessee, if I remember correctly. That's a really good team. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow, if you like college baseball, tomorrow is your day because it is games. All of the super regionals will play a game tomorrow, so you've got games going on throughout the day, and you can watch all kinds of college baseball action.
So the SEC with 5 remaining, I'm just double checking, right? I just went through this list. They're all playing they're not playing against each other. You could have 5 SEC schools of the 8 in Omaha.
Yes.
And with the ACC,
and I don't know how many are favored in their super regional. Tennessee certainly is. I think A&M is. I don't know. Kentucky is, I believe. They should be. They're the number 2. I'm not sure about Georgia, but I assume at home they probably are favored.
And that's the same with the ACC. The ACC's got 5. They all play in separate games. So they can conceivably have 5 of the 8. It's going to be a wild weekend in college baseball to see who goes to Omaha. And then once they get to Omaha, the SEC's riding, is it a 4-year winning streak?
Yes.
Last 4, all different teams.
And if they win it this year, it'll be a different team.
It'll be a different team, which, again, is
none
crazy.
None of the 4 are alive. So amongst the 5 remaining teams.
All right, one more segment to go. We'll come back. We'll get back to what we opened the show with, and that, of course, is the NBA Finals with the Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Get you set for Game 2 on Sunday. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
It's the event you've been waiting for all year. The 66th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival. Sunday, June 16th through Saturday, June 22nd. Golfers can win cash and prizes every night, along with a chance to win $25,000 towards a city auto vehicle purchase select nights. Then, a chance to win $1 million the final night. Plus, there are cornhole tournaments every night with cash and prizes. And there's more. Beer, Pepsi products, Prairie Farms ice cream, hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue ribs, pizza, and even the famous hole-in-one barbecue bologna sandwich. Friday and Saturday nights, there are kids' carnival rides, as well as children's golf Saturday 2 to 4. Golfers, grab your clubs. Cornholers, practice your aim. Families, bring the kids. In Memphis, there's something for everyone. You're invited to the biggest party of the year at St. Louis Church, 203 South West Station Road. The 66th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival. Sunday through Saturday, June 16th through the 22nd. Fun, family, and fabulous prizes all week.
Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by James Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
If you think that Evansville can pull off the miracle, they're plus 12,000 to win the College World Series.
A lot of coin if that happens, but I am not wasting money on them.
UConn's plus 10,000. Tennessee, the favorite at plus 260. Texas A&M's plus 360. Kentucky and North Carolina both at plus 900.
Wow. Kentucky at plus 900 is an interesting bet. Kentucky, very quietly, is really, really good. I think it's the Vols' year. I really do. But
number one team generally doesn't win it.
No, I know. And betting the favorite, I hate betting favorites. That's why I took Dallas over Boston. But usually it's a loser. In this case, I don't know. I think Tennessee, but Kentucky at plus 900, interesting bet. Speaking of money, I had no idea this was going on. It started yesterday. Did you know about this massive antitrust class action lawsuit against the NFL over Sunday Ticket?
I did not.
$21 billion is at stake. The NFL could lose $21 billion, which just falls right out of Goodell's pocket. But the plaintiffs contend that the NFL, DirecTV, CBS, and Fox worked together to make Sunday Ticket more expensive than it had to be. The NFL claims it's all about consumers having full access to content. The case is about choice. This is a valuable premium product. Think about all the choices available to fans. We want as many people as possible to watch the free broadcasts. That's the issue in a nutshell, according to Pro Football Talk. The NFL wants Sunday Ticket to carry a price point that strikes the balance between generating significant revenue for its premium product while not diluting the audiences who would otherwise watch the Sunday afternoon games on their local network affiliates. Wow, interesting. $21 billion class action lawsuit.
Well, I know it has definitely gotten expensive. Of course, the Red Zone channel also. Like I quit getting the Sunday Ticket because the Red Zone channel came along, and I'd rather just pay the little bit for the Red Zone channel.
That's what I got, but it's
and be able to watch that. But Sunday Ticket to have that is expensive these days.
Is the Red Zone still available? What's the one that they cut out where Siciliano, whatever his name is, he lost his gig?
Well, the Red Zone he did. Which one did he do? He did Direct TV.
Yes.
Yeah. So when DirecTV lost the Sunday Ticket, I think they did away with their separate Red Zone channel. Like I assume you could still get Red Zone on DirecTV. I don't know.
I couldn't get it last year. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't putting an effort into doing so, but that's what I would always go to, is with Andrew Siciliano. So the second game of the NBA Finals is Sunday. It will tip off a little earlier than last night's game, 7 o'clock Central Time on ABC. The Celtics have been installed as a 7.5-point favorite, with the total being 214.5. The Celtics have twice lost a second game of a series at home in this playoff.
Only games they've lost.
Right, in this playoff run. Doesn't mean that'll happen again. But in my opinion, like I said in hour one, even though it would be 2 losses on the road, not the end of the world, I understand. I still think it is so important for Dallas to bounce back, play extremely well, figure out what went wrong, and figure out answers for that, if they have answers for that, and then win Game 2. I think we will have a hell of a series that'll go right down to maybe Game 7 if Dallas can win that second game, which is Sunday. If Boston comes out and does that thing again where they don't have to double up Doncic and Irving and just play straight up against them defensively with all their great defensive players and win that game on Sunday, it could be a sweep. It could be that much of a domination by Boston. I picked Dallas. I'm sticking with it. I'm hoping that Jason Kidd and company can figure out offensively what they need to do. But they got to get P.J. Washington open in the corner. He's got to make his threes. He was 0 for 3. But it's hard because they're not doubling up either Doncic or Irving. Doncic had to force some shots, had a couple of shots blocked. Porzingis played great and played great defensively, but Doncic got his points. Kyrie never got it going. Whether or not the crowd affected him, and he would say it didn't, but he was not himself. And then the bigs that have been so important for Dallas in this run, especially in the Minnesota series. Gafford, Lively, Kleber now is back. They have to be good, and they were not good yesterday. Jones was not good. They really did not get the help that they need to be guys that are secondary but extremely important to Luka and Kyrie. And Kyrie certainly has to step up as well.
I believe Kyrie is still winless against the Celtics since he stepped on the logo.
He is, I have it here. Kyrie has lost now 11 straight games to the Celtics.
Yeah, I think the last win was the one where he stomped on the logo.
Curse of the logo. You don't do that. You don't do that because Red Auerbach puts the spell on you from heaven. He sprinkles a little cigar ash on you, and that's what happens. But I think it's an extremely important game. Again, last night, if you didn't get to watch it, Kristaps Porzingis returning for the first time in nearly a month and a half, and from the get-go was dominant. 18 points in the first half in just 13 minutes of play coming off the bench. I would think because they played so well, They've been dominant throughout the playoffs. That Horford will continue to start and bring Porzingis off the bench. Why mess it up? Why try to change things?
Porzingis is on a minute restriction, so I think that's the easier way to just manage his minutes. And I would assume that he will continue to come off the bench for the series just because they talk about that kind of 20, 22-minute mark. So that makes more sense to have him playing in the rotation with the bench guys.
Yeah, I think so, too. I thought I had saw where they said there will not be a minutes restriction, but I don't know.
And it may have been, part of it may have been, or it may be like seeing how he did last night. Like if you go to last night with a minute restriction, and if everything seemed good, he comes out of the game feeling good, they lessen that restriction as the series goes along based on how he's feeling. And, he said that, he felt great last night, everything else. So, they may, as the series goes along, feel like he can just play more minutes because he's feeling good.
The Stanley Cup Finals begin tomorrow.
Yes. Can't wait. Who's in it?
You know who's in it.
Edmonton's in it.
Edmonton's in it against Florida.
Florida, that's right.
Florida's never won a cup. Edmonton's won 4. But Edmonton would represent the first Canadian win since 93?
Yes.
Montreal. So you're talking about over 3 decades that a Canadian hockey team in a sport that they invented in Canada.
Let's go Panthers. It's Panthers? Florida?
It is the Panthers.
Let's go Panthers.
You're messing around. You know a little bit more hockey than you pretend to know here, don't you? Come on, you know it's the Panthers.
I know, I just said it was.
I know, but you gave me the look like.
I did. I wasn't 100% sure.
Do you know who Tampa Bay is?
They're the Lightning.
There
That
you go.
one I know. They're good. They're always good.
I bet you know every one of them. St. Louis?
Well, the St. Louis I know, yes, the Blues.
Okay, I'll give you a couple hard ones. Columbus. Did I stomp them?
Is that the Blue Jackets?
Oh, you're playing with me now. How about Minnesota? Used to be the North Stars, moved to
That's
Dallas,
the
became the
Wild.
Dallas Stars. That's the Wild. Calgary.
Flames.
Ottawa.
Senators.
Seattle.
I know this only because of Bryant, the Kraken. He wears that
He does wear the jersey.
He wears the jersey all the time.
Las Vegas.
They won the Stanley Cup last year. They're the Golden Knights.
Okay.
They stole it from UCF.
Vancouver.
Or Canucks. That's
Los Angeles.
They still the Kings.
They are. Carolina.
Hurricanes.
Buffalo.
Sabres.
You know all your hockey. So pick a winner. Canada,
Florida.
Get off the schneid.
Florida. Why would I go with Canada?
Well,
this is easy. This is the easiest thing ever.
I'm not
Canada
saying,
doesn't win the Stanley Cup. It's got to be Florida.
But I'm saying not who you're rooting for, because we know you hate Canada, so you're certainly rooting for Florida. I'm just saying who you really think will win, but it is Florida. They won't get off the schneid, huh, Canada?
No, why would they?
Edmonton, man.
When is the last time
Connor
the Canadian
McDavid.
team won the NHL?
93. Were you sleeping 5 seconds ago?
Yeah, it probably was.
93 Montreal. You weren't even born yet.
No.
That's how long it's been. Canada, in his lifetime, Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup.
Win one for Zach Boyd. That's the motto up there in Edmonton. That's what they're saying.
I graduated from
Win
high
one
school.
for-
When I was graduating from high school was the last time a Canada team won the Stanley Cup. That's how long ago it's been.
Win one for the Zacher. That's what they're saying right now in Edmonton. So it's Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's going to do it for us this week here on Sports 56 Mornings. We want to thank you folks for listening to the program, your calls and texts. We really do appreciate it. Thanks to John Varlas and Ed DeRosa for joining us on the program today. We're back for another week starting on Monday, bright and early at 7 a.m. Waldo and Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next.
Don't forget, it's National Donut Day. Celebrate
I'm going to the gym.
in your own way.
I'm going to the gym. I want to work out so hard that I am going to stop at Gibson's. And even though it's not a donut, well, you're going to give me crap if I get the apple fritter. So I will get a donut.
That's on
of some
December
sort.
2nd.
I know, but I will get a donut of some sort. For Eli and Zach, I'm Greg. Have a great weekend, everybody.